Hey guys, it's Movie Magic Gaming Gurus, and I'm back again. But I'm joined by none other than my partner in crime, Tash. There she
Hello,
is, back
everybody. I am
again
alive.
and
Just
alive,
about.
and looking forward to being back in the chat, even if it might not be for as long. So let's get
Fingers
started.
crossed.
What you been up to?
Laying in bed. Honest. Sorry. Watching so much TV, I think I may be going out of my mind.
Yeah. So what have you watched so that people know?
Well, I finally watched Daredevil. I watched all of that. I watched all of Better Call Saul. I caught up on everything that was on my Sky Plus planner, so I'm up to date with like stuff like The Following and etc. etc. And I've been watching more Dexter on Netflix, so I've watched so much TV programs.
Are you getting into Dexter, or are you still on the fence?
I'm still on the fence about Dexter, to be honest. It gets really silly.
As somebody
I know
who's
you've watched it all, haven't you?
yeah, as somebody who's watched the whole series, the first 4 series are the good ones, and then after that they really start going downhill.
Yeah, because I'm on the 4th season at the moment, so with the Trinity Killer.
Yeah,
So
the Trinity Killer. Yeah, and how far in it are you?
I'm only like the 4th, 5th episode. So.
But you know the Trinity Killer is, don't you?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Amazing actor. I think he's great in it, and I think it's incredible. And I love that one because Dexter kind of admires the guy.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think it kind of takes away because the third one, Miguel admired him, which kind of made it similar, but not.
Yeah. As well, it's a very different role for John Lithgow. It's like you get so used to him doing light-hearted stuff or whatever, and then to see him being this, swearing, really foul-mouthed, like evil, old guy kind of thing. It's really.
Well, I think the last time I saw him be a villain was in Cliffhanger.
Right. Yeah.
Beforehand, and I think, to be honest, I think John Lithgow, he plays it really well.
Yeah.
He looks insane, but like he's keeping that sanity there.
Yeah, it's
when
like he could do that wild-eyed thing, but still, yeah.
I do think it was great. The 4th season. I think if I had to rate the first 4 seasons, I'd probably rate number 1, number 4, number 2, then number 3.
Right. Yeah.
Because I hated number 3. I thought it was one of the most boringest things I'd ever seen in my life.
Yeah, number 3 was really kind of plodding. I was like, and I think that's why I was losing patience with it. And thankfully, 4 has come back a little bit. And like you say, I think because of Dexter's admiration for the Trinity Killer and stuff like that, it's interesting. And because he's balancing the whole family thing as well, it's yeah.
Well, it's one of those things where I feel like it can go up and down. I mean, I've never liked the character of Deborah.
No.
She annoys the hell out of me because she's always whining.
Yes, she is.
Oh, John's here. Hello, John.
Oh, John. Did you ever get round to watching Daredevil?
Mate, yeah, I watched a few episodes. I need to watch it properly.
Yeah.
The thing is, at the moment, I've just been doing so many different things. It's been like, do I watch something that's on Netflix, or do I watch something I already have to watch, then watch what's on Netflix? Because I'd rather wait for the Blu-ray to come out or something.
Well, this is the thing. I only got to it because I got through everything on my Sky Plus planner, and I was like, oh, I've got nothing to watch. And I could have watched my DVD box sets, but when you're sat being sick and that, the last thing you want to be doing is getting up to change discs and that. So I was like, Netflix. So, and that's how I ended up back on Daredevil and Better Call Saul and that.
Well, I think that's the handy thing, when you're ill.
Yeah.
Netflix is like the perfect weapon because you can just put it on, and you can just sit there or lay there and move between all these things without having to move and get stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly. Having to like push yourself to even try and read down the list of all, like if you're looking at your shelves and having to look down.
Yeah.
You know, and plus the images are nice and big on the thing as well, so you don't have to strain.
No, exactly.
Just trying to get the YouTube page up. There we go. It's the one thing I always forget to do is put that YouTube page up.
Yeah, it took a little while to register today, so.
So yeah, so I mean, what else did you watch?
Like I say, I'm watching the new season of.
I like every time you say something. Like he said,
Yeah,
I watched the new season of.
Yeah, it's like, I don't dare to say it. No, I'm watching the new season of The Following at the moment, and I know, obviously, I can't say too much because you're not on the new season. But as I said to you, you know, when we were chatting, it's that kind of thing where I'm getting frustrated with it now because whereas season 1 was an interesting concept with the cult, and you didn't know who was going to be a member and stuff like that. I mean, it got cheesy at times. It got like, oh, really? Just seriously. It was still an interesting concept. And now we're down to like season 2 got silly, but it still had some good elements. And now season 3, there's not even a following. And I'm like, why is it still called The Following when it's just like a couple of people with some issues with Ryan Hardy, you know, or whatever? It's like, it's like becoming a more procedural drama crime fighter, you know.
Well, I mean, I heard season 3's the last season.
Yeah.
And that doesn't surprise me because it has kind of gone downhill quite a lot. John says, I watched most of Daredevil. I thought that rocked.
It was good.
But yeah, you know, The Following to me, the first season was really good, if not cheesy and a bit eh. The second season started off strong and then ended on a real whimper for me.
Yeah.
And the first season I got to yet, but I'm not. From what I've seen, it looks like some high-tech guy who can see anything anytime, killing people with no one with him.
Yeah, exactly. It's just some like hacker guy who's just got issues. It's like, for goodness sake.
Don't get me wrong, the character looks really awesome, but it's not what the show's called. It's called The Following, not state-of-the-art hacker who
psychopath on the loose. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you know, it's. I know that I think it's Mark is still alive in it.
Yeah.
And that's something that interests me. But without the twin, it kind of upsets me because they kind of had this great chemistry.
Yeah.
Even though it was the exact same guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It was just awesome watching them together.
Yeah.
You know, but
you've been watching a lot lately, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been watching Buffy again.
Yay.
And I have to be honest, series 1 is so dated.
I know, it looks old, doesn't it?
Oh, the worst part is Netflix. I thought, so I won't get the box set out. I'll watch it on Netflix to save me the trouble. Then when I get there, I can pick up the DVD and put it in the cupboard.
Yeah.
Right? Put it on, I'm like, this is so awful looking. This is so blurry. Right? I go, I'm going to get the DVD and see if it's this bad. Because if it is, bloody hell. Right?
Yeah.
Put the DVD in, it's 20 times better quality than Netflix.
Yeah.
And I was like, but these DVDs were made years ago, so it should be the same.
Well, you would think, because Netflix have been starting to produce stuff in HD recently. So I am surprised that Buffy's not one of those ones that...
I'm surprised Charmed isn't either, because Charmed is in standard definition as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But, yeah, I've been watching Buffy. It made me realise just how much I love the Master.
Yeah.
And how much he just lights up my life. That character in the first season is what makes that season so special.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, I like that, but I'm looking for again season 2 because I feel like season 2 is really when it gets started.
It's when it starts to, yeah, exactly.
You know? When Angel turns evil, that's when it gets really good. And Spike and Drusilla, it kind of makes it really, you know, the judge, you know. And all that.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It really brings it to a whole big boom.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some bad ones in there, like the robot stepdad storyline.
Oh, God. Poor John Ritter. It was like, he was such a good character actor, and then he got that bloody cyborg guy. It's like,
and then there's the bloody big fish thing. Do you remember that one?
oh god, I hate the
Yeah.
praying mantis one.
Oh,
Teacher's pet, you know.
Oh, Teacher's Pet. The way that praying mantis looks is so Doctor Who like.
Yeah, it's very CGI. It's just like,
It just makes you go, oh, you know what I mean? Because you just hate it so much. I mean, it was like, oh. But I'm slowly getting through Buffy. I thought I'd watch it. I've got the boxes. I watched it years ago on VHS and years ago on DVD. And I'm like, I want to go through them again, you know, like, because I'm doing a lot of editing.
yeah.
And it takes so long. What I do is I watch a couple of episodes of something, you know.
Yeah.
While I'm waiting for it. Like, for instance, today, while I was editing some of my Battlefield gameplay, which I'm going to be uploading soon,
Yeah. Oh, cool.
I was watching The Take again.
Yeah.
You know, the Tom Hardy one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching that again. And I'll tell you something, I forgot just how amazing that was.
Brilliant, yeah.
You know, and when you watch it again, you can really see how great of an actor Tom Hardy is. And that he's going to become bigger than just some standards, you know, British TV star.
Yeah.
You know, so what's this? I never missed an episode of Buffy. Another guilty pleasure of mine. That's from John.
I love Buffy.
I love Buffy. I got to admit, I'm more of an Angel fan.
Yeah.
But I do respect Buffy because it came first, you know, and it paved the way. But when you watch Angel in the first episodes, he looks so weird. He looks like...
It's so gaunt and like, yeah, he's really creepy, kind of.
Like when he pops up and goes, you don't want to go in there. There we go.
Yeah, exactly. It's like creepy perv just lingering in the background, you know.
But I will say this, the vampires, they look slightly different in the earlier seasons of Buffy than the later seasons.
Yeah, I guess as they got the technology in that to do the transformations a bit better and that.
Their faces look so much different. Like they look like they've got veins in them. As later on, they're more smooth. You know. But I'm just glad there was 12 seasons altogether of Buffy and Angel together, because it's real, like, I hate these series where you get a really good series and it's like one season.
Yeah.
Oh, John says, love the Exiles t-shirt, Tash.
I know. You know what? That's the upside to having new episodes coming, is brand new merchandise from the official store.
Yeah.
So.
I bet you're over the moon about that.
Oh, come on. You know, it's like if you got told like that there was new merchandise for a show that finished 13 years ago that you loved, you'd be like, excuse me.
I have to be honest, I think if there was Captain Scarlet dolls you could get, I'd probably get them.
Yeah.
You know, and stuff like that. So I do totally agree with you on it. You know.
It's like, you know, with the bobbleheads and the Funkos and stuff, it's an interesting time to be a fan, you know. I mean, as somebody who's always been a fan, to then see this resurgence of stuff, it's interesting.
Well, I think it's kind of funny because when you go back to like the 90s, there was great merchandise, but most of the merchandise you got was like something to do with paper.
Yeah.
Or something really tatty looking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's now because things are like really thingy. You can get Funko Pops. You can get these really incredible things.
Yeah, exactly.
Very nicely done. That's from John.
But saying about Buffy and that, there was something that's happened recently that I wanted to actually ask you your opinion on, because Joss Whedon had to leave Twitter after. I mean, apparently he was going to leave anyway to get in his own headspace for you know, like writing and stuff. But a big backlash happened after the release of Age of Ultron, where people were bitching about certain things that were brought up in the movie, you know, like saying he was being you know, like...
I heard it was something to do with Black Widow's character.
Apparently it was a couple of things, because I looked it up, because I still haven't seen the movie, and I was curious what order, because, I mean, Joss Whedon, you know, has brought us some of the strongest female characters, like Buffy, and we got Firefly, Dollhouse, Faith, you know, and all the other. And unfortunately, nobody else has really done a decent job with Black Widow, and I feel like he's done a good job with her in the Avengers. But apparently the two things was, apparently first off, there was something about picking up Thor's hammer, and apparently Iron Man made a joke that if he picked up the hammer, if he became the king of Asgard, he'd reinstate Prima Nocta, which is the tradition of kings sleeping with whoever they wanted. And people were like, "Oh, that's a rape joke," and it's like, actually, I just see that as Tony being
isn't that kind
man? Yeah,
well, isn't that kind of a thing that every man might say, possibly?
Yeah, well, especially Tony, the way he sleeps with, he's been that playboy, isn't he? So I can imagine him saying something like that. So I don't know why people are getting a hump about that. But the other thing is, apparently Black Widow says to Hulk, she says that because of part of her training was as a Russian spy, was that she was made sterile. And as a result, she feels like a monster. And people saw that saying that basically he was saying that anybody that is sterile is a monster, and it's like, I don't see it as that.
So
I can understand what she would have.
So
she would have insecurities, kind of thing.
So basically, what that means is to make that part with Black Widow talking to Hulk, but the monster is because he'd understand, because technically he is a monster.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So why are people taking it out of context when it's got to do with the movie? Right? You know? And I think some people do. Maybe she feels guilty because the character, maybe feels guilty because she can't have kids. So technically she's killed all chance of life.
She wants to give that to him, kind of thing, or something, but she can't. I just think it's an interesting thing that, considering what Joss Whedon has done for feminists, feminine characters.
I mean, look at the characters. I mean, you had Buffy.
Yeah.
Right. You had Faith. Kendra.
Yeah.
If you go
even
for
Dawn and that, became
if you go for a Buffy Angel alone, there's so many strong female characters.
Yeah.
Just in that. Then you've got Dollhouse with all the strong women in it.
Yeah.
Right. Firefly, like you said, Serenity, and I don't see where people get, because Black Widow is a strong female character.
I mean, it's very difficult when she's the only female character in that group to,
what are they trying to say? Are they trying to say this is what annoys me with people. This is the reason why we get Terminator as a PG-13.
Oh, God, you're Robocop.
Or Robocop's PG-13, because people complain constantly, and you're like, F off. You know what? Not every film has something in it I like. Am I going to go and complain about my Big Devil? Of course I'm not. If I was, I'd be voting for Seth Rogen never to be in a movie again.
Exactly. Exactly.
So it's like, shut up, move on with your life.
I don't believe a line defines a whole character. And the thing is fine, they don't want Black Widow to be a damsel in distress. Some people are saying that it makes her a damsel in distress. And I think that's bullshit, because you can be a strong woman but still have insecurities, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, of course you
can.
Voice
that insecurity.
It's like all the strongest men. All the strongest men have cried to somebody.
Yeah.
Does it make them weak? Does it mean that they can't have a weak side? No, of course it doesn't, because we need to cry in order to let out the sadness we have, otherwise it can cause health problems.
Yeah, exactly.
I just don't get people. It's
amazing what's happened, the way people have gone. It's just like, what?
Yeah. Well, I don't get why people focus so much on the negative. I've heard Age of Ultron's really disappointing.
Yeah.
Right, but I'm like, I can't wait to see it myself.
I can't. I'm looking forward to it coming out on Blu-ray and that. So
I mean, don't get me wrong. I expect it not to be as great as anything, because you know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they're going to save the world.
Yeah, they'll be back for the next movie.
Yeah, exactly. Right? But you still don't know what's going to happen in the beginning and end. The beginning and middle. We've got a couple of comments from John. I heard that argument too, and that is the most ridiculous thing that I've heard.
It is.
John says, same thing when Jeremy Renner called the Black Widow character slut as a joke in an interview. Some women's rights group were calling for his head. It's funny you bring that up, because I saw that on Facebook. right?
Right, yeah.
And they said, "What do you think of the character Black Widow?" And Jeremy Renner went, "She's a slut," right? And Chris Evans laughed, right?
Yeah.
And it was obviously him just being funny. It'd be like if
Guys
someone said
being
to me,
guys, you know.
it's like if somebody said to me, "Oh, what's Tash like?" And I went, "Oh, she gets about, she goes clubbing, all this stuff." Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been classified as a joke, right?
Yeah.
You know, but for some reason you get these feminist groups, and the problem with feminism is it's gone from being something that's really important
Yeah.
to something where it's just like, I'll hate every single thing a man does that puts a
Oh, yeah.
woman in a different situation to them. Like,
It's like political correctness in a way, isn't it? It's
yeah, exactly.
it gets taken. I mean, you know me. I'm all for fighting for women becoming more, you know. But as we've said, it gets taken to the nth degree of silliness.
It's just frustrating.
But what do you think about like celebrities kind of putting themselves on Twitter? I mean, obviously they open themselves up to this kind of stuff. And
I've never, but I don't believe most of the people on Twitter are them. I believe it's someone who works for them most of the time.
yeah, yeah,
So I've never believed that they fully spend time on Twitter when they've got like for instance, wrestlers. I don't think wrestlers are always on Twitter. I think somebody else doing it for them because they're always busy training and stuff.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
So I think celebrities being on Twitter, I think it's a good thing, but at the same time, I think it's not.
yeah,
You know, in today's society, you need to be in social media to be a success.
yeah,
It's like when I look at successful channels on YouTube, they've got like Bing, Bebo, Facebook, Twitter,
yeah.
Instagram, and I'm like, I can't bother with all that.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's like catch me out, you know. It's like
Why would you want to check every single one of them every day? Right?
yeah,
And that's why I think celebrities are not always that. Do I think people like Russell Brand are? Yeah, of course I do.
yeah.
Because the guy loves himself so much, he's going to be putting stuff on there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right? Do I think people like Sean Connery are? No. I think they'd get somebody else to do it for them, somebody more savvy with it.
Yeah.
You know, maybe their grandchild, maybe a personal assistant, whatever. You know. So I don't really like it. I mean, I don't think. I mean, you can't put a lot of stuff on Twitter. I mean, if you send a message, it has to be like really short.
Yeah, it has to be 140 characters, which you can't really say anything of any substance. And
you know, this is why everybody's gone to abbreviation as well.
Oh, I hate text speak.
Let me tell you something.
I despise it.
People put stuff like TBF, TBH, and all that. And I'm like, what's that? And I'm like, oh, to be honest, to be frank, blah, 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 blah. You know? And you just sit there going, type it properly. Type the whole thing out.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I grew up in school. You had to do that.
Yeah, you couldn't do abbreviations. It was all,
As far as I know, it's got to the point now where in your exams, they let you do abbreviations.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no. What was it? Donna said recently, apparently now they're doing a thing where you can, like when you're a kid, they're doing this thing now where you can write stuff as you hear it, and it won't be until you're older that they'll try change and correct you. It's like, why learn it one way and then reteach them it? Why not teach them it properly? It's lazy teaching now, unfortunately. It's like, just let them do it whatever way they want, and then when they get, you know, in their teens, we'll correct them. It's like, how stupid is that?
I see. This is the thing that annoys me, because this is why the generations just under us are getting more and more stupid.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody like my mum knew a young girl, and you know, because she knew her parent, right? I should have said that bit first. That's a bit awkward. But anyway, you know, so my mum knew a woman, and her daughter used to, when people used to scratch her, she'd go like, "Lol," if you want laugh.
Oh,
lol, or lol, or something, and you're like, you know.
I hate people go OMG. It's like, for goodness sake.
Alex says, "Hey guys."
Hi, Alex.
And we've got some questions on our page. War Doctor says, "How do you join?" Well, you click on the be part of the conversation to watch, but nobody else is in this chat, War Doctor. It's kind of like me and Tash do this every kind of week. Well, recently not late because Tash been ill, but normally You know.
Yeah.
And is she really bitter? Who's commented another one says, do you think James from my DVD review should do some YouTube videos dressed as a woman?
Well, that's not for us to comment because
no, that's not for us to comment. If you want to know that question, ask James.
Yeah.
Because that's not really
to do with us.
of us. So that's his business. So please ask him. And it says review comments. What? He yelled at Adam put XXXXDDD. Okay. What's this? Tash, I can arrange for you to get Age of Ultron in a couple of weeks if you want it.
That's very nice of you, John, but I'm going to wait for it to come out in the UK because I'm going to get it in my own time because I just got so much at the moment that I need to get through that it's difficult to get through everything. I just bought some DVDs recently because Tesco's have had a sale. And yeah, I really need to get through a lot of stuff. But thank you so much for the offer, John, anyway.
Yeah, you went to Tesco, but you didn't buy Wolf Cop.
No, I didn't. Alex is going to be sat there going, no, why?
Exactly. You should have bought it.
Did I dare spend £2.50 on Wolf Cop?
Trust me when I say it's not crap, it's incredible. You don't believe me, do you?
I do not believe.
All right, well.
No, maybe I'll give it a try. We'll see.
This is because last time you took a suggestion, you were like this.
Yeah. I also want to say to John and Alex, thank you for your messages. I'm sorry I haven't been replying, but obviously I'm really, really sick and I'm not at the computer much. So I'm not ignoring you. I've just been really ill.
Yeah. So. Well, the truth of it is, saw your messages, can't be bothered. When should I reply it or should I go and play a game? I'll play a game.
I did Batman Spec Ops before you. So.
Yes, you did. So you've been waiting to do that. You've been waiting to rub that.
I've been waiting to boast on that. No,
right. No. You've been waiting for it, and you got it.
Nah, he knows I'm joking. But
I don't.
No, I was just going to say one other thing though about the Twitter thing is I don't like the fact of people. We're in this generation now where people they follow celebrities and then they try talking to them as if they're best buddies. It's like you don't know these people. It's
it's funny you say that because my cousin, who I love very dearly, he is on Twitter and he follows people like Judd Apatow and that. And these people comment like somebody will put something like I don't get this at Beatrix or whatever. Don't get that. Right,
I hate hashtags.
That's what I mean. That's the stuff I hate, right?
Yeah.
At HMB, HMV sucks. I think you got these people go, HMV sucks, and I was in there, and you're like, shut your mouth, and just don't bother because what's the point? A celebrity person probably hardly ever reads anyone's tweets. Yeah. And if they do, they probably do when they're bored.
Yeah, exactly. They're just sat there in their trailers, just like, whatever.
Yeah, there's no. What's this? John said, really glad missed you a lot.
I've missed being here. As Malcolm knows, because we've not even had our gaming and that, really. So.
No, we haven't. We've only, started having the odd hour or so?
Yeah, exactly. So.
But you're getting better and you'll be able to cope soon with it all,
Yeah, exactly.
I tell you though, we did get the trophy. We did get the trophies.
We did, yeah.
On Resident Evil, and now we're playing the reverse, and I think I'm like 3 trophies away now from getting that plat.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Well, we're gonna have a comment. If you could be any game character, who would it be? That's from Alex.
I'm trying to remember. I think we've answered this before, but I'm trying to remember.
I think the answer we gave last time was for what world would we be in?
Ah, right, yeah.
I think, because it is very similar.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just trying to remember what. I can't think. Who would I be? Anybody but fucking Princess Peach, because seriously, that bitch is a slut. You want to know who a slut is? Princess Peach. Or who would you be?
I think I'd be Wesker.
I could just imagine you. Yes, Chris.
I think I'd be Wesker because I always thought Wesker was the coolest, you know.
Yeah.
And I could say pull like Solid Snake and that don't make sense, you know. As Wesker, he's a kind of a big guy, you know. So I kind of put myself there because I'm a big guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So because I'm not gonna be able to sneak through vents like Solid Snake, am I?
No.
I'd be breaking. So
I'll
would
be
you
the
be?
female Sam Fisher.
I can see it now.
Samantha Fisher. Yeah. Just jumping up and hanging on poles and stuff.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine
I do
trying
the
to hang
split
up?
leg thing between the walls, you know.
Could you imagine doing that? I've always thought it would be funny trying to do that, you know, in front of people. One more thing I wanted to do before you answer the question.
Yeah.
So I might as well put a ninja suit and then just, when I know there's no one about, but there's like the odd person just run along like thing, you know?
Yeah.
And see what they do. See if they just stare at you or if they go, you know.
I love it when you see these people that do like the Assassin's Creed parkour, and you see them and they do all these flips just over it, and you're like, wouldn't it just been quicker to run over it as opposed to just doing this whole fucking flip in the middle of there, you know? But they always look like twats when they're doing it. It's
I
like,
do.
I'm sure it's supposed to be amazing, and sometimes it is, but other times you're just like, what is the point of doing that?
The best part is I saw a parody. I saw somebody doing like, you know, like pranks.
Yeah.
And this bloke was walking along, and obviously he was a part of it because the boat blew it and he fell down.
Oh, yeah.
And these girls went, ah! And started running off. It was just so funny. So who would you be?
I'm trying to think. I mean, Wonder Woman, just to piss off Donna in Lego Lego DC Heroes. I don't know. I really don't know. There's not really any strong female. I mean, I don't want to be Bayonetta because she just has hair on her body. There's not really any good female characters. I can't remember her name in BioShock Infinite, the one that Booker goes around with.
I haven't played it yet, so.
She's a good character. I enjoy her. She's not an annoying companion. Jill kicks some ass in Resident Evil. Jill or Claire, they're pretty badass.
Yeah, I agree with you. So who would you be?
Well, you see, Jill can have sex with Chris, whereas obviously Claire is his sister. So I guess I'd be Jill because Chris is quite hot.
Well, I think it should be Claire because then you can get off with Piers.
What, Weedy Piers, who's like the most whiny little bitch ever. Yeah, man, I look up to you, man. Me.
I always thought Piers was a bit, you know, like homosexual.
There's something very camp about him.
Some people try and have conversations with celebrities on Twitter. It is so stupid.
Yeah.
Alex. John says, Tash, once you get better, would you like to join Malcolm on a Google Chat Plus?
That would be interesting.
And Natalie Rydstrom says, hi, guys.
Hi, Natalie. Nice to see a new face.
Yeah. Ask us some questions.
Yeah. Saying about characters, there was one other thing that's happened recently that I wanted to ask you about, but I can wait to ask you if you want. It was just saying about characters and that made me think of it.
Sure, you can ask away.
Mortal Kombat X came out, didn't it? And they've got and it's caused a lot of people to wonder if the gaming there's going to be another gaming crash because now they got the stupid microtransactions for easy fatalities.
Microtransactions?
You know, like where you pay like what is it? I looked this up. You pay either $1 for 5 easy fatalities, or you can pay $5 for 30 easy fatalities. So basically, you're paying to get play the game, kind of thing.
Sounds like rubbish to me.
We're getting to this point now where people, say with the mobile gaming thing, we're getting to this point now where you essentially pay to finish. Why play the game altogether? Why not just not buy it? It's like, what is the point?
But I've noticed this with a lot of things, because not to cut you up there, just add in a little bit.
Yeah.
They did the same thing with Battlefield Hardline. You could buy the packs to get the Enforcer pack and that early on.
It was the same with Assassin's Creed Unity, wasn't it? But
yeah, and this is exactly, and these are the things that people are doing now. And to be honest with you, it takes away from the game. I'm not a big online person of Battlefield or things like Mortal Kombat. Anyway, I prefer the offline.
Yeah.
If I play them, but I don't agree with that stuff. In my view, what's the point if you can't earn it?
Well, once upon a time, you found out that, say, for the fatalities, you found out what the button sequence was and stuff like that, and that was how you did it. But it takes away surely it takes away from the fun if all you have to do is just buy it and then you just do it. You might as well just go on YouTube and watch the videos of the fatalities. And I know it's a big debate now where they're worrying that the big AAA games are becoming so embroiled in this whole bullshit, being boring, that a lot of people are turning to the indie games and stuff.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing.
Worrying that there's going to be another game crash that happened back in the 80s.
See, the problem is, I'm one of those gamers where I believe if you want to get the game, you're not going to pay for the extra bits unless it's like DLC.
Especially if you're paying $70 or whatever it is.
Yeah. These are the people that want to complete it and get a plat early on. They'll pay anything. Yeah.
Well, look, like we say about Spec Ops. Look how hard we've had to work on FUBAR. Yet there's some people want to go on. I guess this is why I've enjoyed playing the PS3 games more recently, because I found the PS4 a bit boring. But the PS3 games, you have to actually work for it and work really hard.
The problem is, the way I see the PS4 is the PS4 still hasn't got that many good games.
Well, this is the problem as well, is we're not getting any decent, exclusive titles coming out.
They're mostly all ports.
Remake, redos, reboots.
We've got a couple of comments here.
Yeah.
Alex says, the freak is back. Good to see you better now, Tash. And Natalie says, hey, Alex, that's not nice. But yeah,
say Alex.
So the Witcher 3 comes out tomorrow, which I'm buying.
Yes, that looks good.
It does look good. I watched a review on it, and I'm going to play it because it's going to be a video series I'll do. Talk about video series while we're on that thing for a minute. I'm going to be uploading the last part of the UFC.
Right.
I'm going to be uploading my Battlefield ones with commentary.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll upload all of the Battlefield ones tonight.
Oh, wow.
And then tomorrow, I should be uploading some Witcher ones. And then once I finish the Witcher, I should be uploading another probably 30 or 40. Because what my plan is to do Witcher, and then while I'm waiting for Batman to do some others.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So that's basically my plan.
Oh, that's awesome. Looking forward to seeing all your stuff.
Alex says it's a troll account, Tash.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah,
so my plan is to do all that.
Right, yeah.
As for the gaming crash thing, I hope that doesn't happen. But I feel like the problem is you don't get that many good gamers nowadays. Because you haven't got the patience to do certain things, like FUBAR.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with the actual gaming. That's why people don't. I was talking to a friend online from England.
Right, yeah.
Who I went to school with. And he was going on to me about how he doesn't buy games because he thinks they're too expensive.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I buy games sometimes at full price because they're games I actually want,
Yeah.
Don't waste money on a game you're not going to play when you could.
Oh yeah,
You
no.
know what I mean? So I kind of get quite frustrated with the whole situation, with the whole gaming system.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Well, this is a problem. It's like, I mean, there's a couple of games fine that we've talked about, and I want to get like Dying Light and stuff, but there's not really been any games. And I mean, we said this, when we chatted a couple of weeks back. Alex brought up about Silent Hills being cancelled. As we've said, Uncharted 4 has been pushed back to next year. Still no word on Metal Gear 5 when that's coming out. It's any games that we are waiting for, they're either being cancelled because they're not getting the money for it, or it's taking too much work or something. They're getting pushed back and back and back. And I mean, yeah, The Witcher looks good, but again, that's the third in a series. That's not a brand new game. The Order should have been a good game, and yet that failed so horrifically.
The problem is with The Witcher is they should have released 1 and 2 for download probably last year, and it was going to come out on the PS4.
Yeah.
Because there's some people that would have never played it. I've never played the other two.
No. Well, it was originally on PC, and it did get ported to PS3 and Xbox, I think, last year or the year before. But from what I saw, it was a really bad port. Apparently, it kept crashing. So
that's not good.
But I don't know. So, but yeah, no, I completely agree because not everybody's played it. So, but at the moment, there's really not any games to look forward to.
Well, I heard Metal Gear Solid and the Mad Max game were coming out in September.
Oh, really?
That's what I heard on Amazon.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's changed. I still can't see why they can't release the Mad Max game now when the actual movie was out and it's a success.
I know, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Have you been
to
see that? I know you don't go to cinema.
No, I haven't seen it. I want to see it.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen it. Hold on. I'll probably get on Blu-ray or something,
Yeah.
Put it with the other one. But then, see, now they've released that, now, because I've got the special tin version of the original one with the 3 and the thing. Now I'm going to have to buy them all individually as well so that I can put them together.
Just so you can put them together. Yeah.
It's so annoying when that happens because it's like Chucky. I bought the Chucky set 1 to 6, and now they're bringing out a 7th one. I'm like, great, so this box set is not great anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Some comments. By the way, Twin Peaks will be directed by David Lynch now.
Oh, he has finally been. Okay.
I've got to be honest, that doesn't surprise me.
Maybe. I don't think it would have been successful if he hadn't had anything to do with it. I think it would have.
Maybe he just wanted more money.
Probably.
And Natalie says Minesweep is my favourite game.
I love Minesweeper.
Yeah, Minesweep's not a bad game.
I get frustrated with it.
Yeah, it can be quite frustrating. I think it's one of those games of patience.
Yeah. Last Avenger says, how are you feeling, Tash? Have you managed to find a cure for the T-virus? I'm trying, but we haven't found the Unfortunately, with the new Resident Evils, what is it in Revelations? It's now like the C virus or something, isn't it?
S virus, I think. It sounds like, or B virus. It's something.
Yeah, it's one of the alphabet.
The funny thing is, do you think there'll ever be an ending to the Resident Evil games?
I wish they would just put it out of its misery, to be honest. But
I don't know. I feel like they should maybe end it on the 8th.
Yeah.
Because we need some good. I mean. Revelations 2 doesn't look that great on the PlayStation 4.
No.
I honestly think they should do 2 more, and they should have one lead into the other one to the ending. And I think the last one should have all the characters in. I
think the problem is the Resident Evil brand now, it carries too much. Like people are turning to it because they're like zombies. But unfortunately, as we've said, and as we've witnessed, that was the thing playing like number 6 is that. You play as different characters, and then what was it? Leon's one started with a good, decent horror zombie vibe, but then very quickly devolved back into the stupid mutating chrysalis things. It was like,
Well, that's the thing, you know. I mean, I missed the old horror vibe in them.
Yeah,
It frustrated me to no end, you know, with the whole original way. It's this way's easier,
yeah,
but I preferred that because I feel like I'm being challenged.
yeah. There's that, but yeah,
The thing with a game is you want the atmosphere and you want to
yeah.
be challenged by it, you know. And I think when you don't get that, it kind of gets slightly boring.
Well, this is the problem with the Silent Hill games, though, is they moved so far away from the atmosphere and that, you know, and that survival horror thing, and now it's all action, and it loses a lot of it because you know a lot of its essence as a result.
Yeah, I mean, I played the Silent Hills. I think I played number 2 and 3.
Right? Yeah,
I think I could be wrong because it was so long ago. It was on the PlayStation 2.
yeah.
Uh, and at the time, I really didn't like them. And now,
Homecoming is the worst that I've played to date. So
really,
yeah,
what about
Homecoming
Downpour?
is awful. I haven't played Downpour yet. I've heard it's bad though. I heard the worst one is Origins for a lot of people. So
I heard there's this very rare one called Silent Hills.
yeah, I think it
And
was known as PT.
yeah,
Um,
and only a few people got to play the actual full game.
yeah,
Yeah, you know. But I got to be honest, I wish they'd release a remastered set of that,
yeah.
so that I could play them. You know.
There is a HD collection on the PS3.
No, I meant of the whole lot.
Oh, the whole lot, yeah, because I think it's only
Because
like the first three that are on HD,
because
or first two.
I think you can get. I think Homecoming. There is Homecoming, isn't it?
Yeah, like number
Downpour. You
one.
get Homecoming, Downpour, and then 2 and 3 you can get on the disc. But I want them to put all of them on. Like I don't mind Downpour and Homecoming because they can be on their separate ones. But I want if they're gonna do a HD collection, they put all of them in there. Like Metal Gear
Yeah,
Solid, they should put all of them originally on the disc. Even in the bloody box, you had a download code for it. Even on that special Legacy collection,
yeah, yeah, exactly.
and I didn't like that. I don't like that at all when they do that. When you have to download, because you're like, why would I even bother?
Well, this is the thing. I mean, but I think this is a lot of the problem with the whole, you know, with the market at the moment. And like I say, I still wonder if that's why people are turning to these little, the little indie games. You know, like stuff like,
Well,
you know,
you mean like things like Miami Hotline?
yeah, or Super Meat Boy, or you know,
Well,
Limbo and stuff like that.
well, the problem is, I feel like they're pushing us backwards.
Yeah, well, the graphics wise and everything, it's all going back to nostalgia, isn't it? It's
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like watching that. I like watching. I like watching them playing it. You know,
yeah,
and because sometimes I let Donna, you know, play a bit if she can.
yeah,
And but at the same time, we've got to the point now where we've gone past asteroids. You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah,
we
exactly,
we
yeah.
we love them and we respect them and we want to play them, but we want to play them when we feel like it, not because we have to.
That's
You
the thing.
know.
That's what frustrates me, and I think this is why, you know, so many, as well as myself, are just tired of this whole bloody issue with the AAA games, because we're at a point now where we have the graphical power to make these really realistic games and that. And yeah, I mean, I love my nostalgic games. I've been playing Shovel Knight and that recently, but it would be nice if I'm buying a game to get decent graphics. I mean, that's
Yeah.
what cracks me up with, because of course the new Assassin's Creed has just recently been announced and shown off, isn't it? And actually, it doesn't look that good.
Well, you know what? I actually watched the trailer properly instead of like this 20-second
Yeah, that
promo
20
thing.
minute. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I was just like, because I was thinking, because of what you said before, you know, you said like the gangs and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I tell you what Assassin's
They
Creed is
love the
to me.
leprechauns. It's just,
I tell you what Assassin's Creed is to me now. It's like let's use the same map,
yeah,
just put it in a different country, make the buildings look slightly different, change the color clothing of the enemies, but let them move exactly the same way, and make it where the story is extremely similar to every other story.
yeah,
And we'll get one out because we can't be unique anymore because of the once a year and because we just haven't got the effort, you know.
It blows my mind as well. They've got these two interchangeable characters, the brother and the sister, and yet they're not doing multiplayer at all because they couldn't get it working in the previous game.
It just sucks. You know?
What cracked me up even more is in that video, you know, like of the release video and that, they had this clip of like this baddie getting berserk darted, and I swear it was the same voice that had been the previous two games, you know, like, it's in my head, you know, kind of.
As long as it goes, I'm gonna make horse and jam out of you. I'll be happy if they've got that in there. But it's just, you know, the series is becoming a joke. I think the reason it weren't called Victory was because everybody thought it was going to be called Victory, so they changed it.
It sucks because I think Victory would have worked as a title, but I like Victory.
Well, it does, because if we win as the assassins and we're in the Victorian time, Victory makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. I don't get the whole. I know they're doing syndicate because there's gangs and stuff, but I still think. Also, I know a lot of people are disappointed because they thought it was going to be Jack the Ripper time, and it's not. So.
Well, but then you can't. Problem with Assassin's Creed, you can only do it in a certain time frame, and there's because. If you do it in today's, it's just going to look like basically Nathan Drake, except with a hoodie on or something, and that's not what you want, you know. Remember when we got to play as Desmond and we had to like climb on certain things, and he had the hood on and the back.
The backpack. Yeah,
that isn't Assassin's Creed, you know.
No.
Assassin's Creed is when we're in the Animus and we're back in time when we could do that, you know.
Yeah. I don't like this that they've gone for this whole you're playing a game and you're inside a game, and it's like, what? I do miss the whole Desmond stuff, and I know I've said this before, but yeah, it wasn't what made Assassin's Creed, but it was a nice. I don't like this whole Abstergo stuff. It's so stupid.
I want them to make an Inception game. So, but
you're in a game in a game in a game.
So you're in a game within a game of a dream of playing a game, with that game being played in another game. Right, and then you wake up every time you complete a level, right?
Yeah, you level up.
You level up and you wake up, and then you get to the end, and then you find out that your whole life's one big dream in somebody else's head.
Yeah, it's like Wreck-It Ralph.
But the whole the whole Abstergo thing is just over the top rubbish now. When I remember playing the first one and being so enthralled with the whole, it's in that room, we can't get out, you know, and all this. Yeah. And this is scary. This is kind of, you know, like, you know, are they the right team? Are they the wrong team? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. Now, I'm like, I couldn't care less about Abstergo. I don't care about what they do. Just get me straight back in the Animus so I can go and kill people.
What cracks me up from this new look, though, is the way they're going for, like, GTA Creed, kind of with the whole horse and driving and stuff. It's like, really, we're turning because Assassin's Creed, it's now ripping off everybody else's mechanics at this point.
It is. Hell, do you remember when the new Splinter Cell ripped off the bloody Assassin's Creed mechanics?
Yeah. Once upon a time, it was, you know, Splinter Cell was ripping off Assassin's Creed, and now Assassin's Creed has got no ideas left, so they've got to rip off everybody else.
John asks, do you guys think the Assassin's Creed movie will help or hurt the game series? You know,
very good question.
You know, as somebody who's seen Lineage, because most people who call themselves real Assassin's Creed fans haven't, and which basically means Tash and Don haven't seen it. But anyway, you know, I only saw that when it originally was being put on the PlayStation 3, right? And then buying the actual movie on Blu-ray and having it on DVD originally as well I think it came in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood when you got the Codex.
Yeah,
box.
I think
it came in that, and you had a coin and everything. And it was a great film, and that with practically nobody you knew in it, and nobody's seen it. Right? Yeah. I think maybe only a handful of people in the world, which probably means a few thousand, have seen it, because it doesn't matter to people. People never heard of it. People never knew it existed. You know. Yeah. And I think that's the problem. As with this, because it's got Michael Fassbender in it, everybody's going to see it, right? and that takes away from the mystique of the games, in my view, because the only reason this movie has been made is because the game series is failing. They want this to bring in more fans.
Yeah.
You know, soon we'll get the celebrity voiceovers like we've got bloody Keith Sutherland doing Solid Snake. You watch.
Yeah.
After the movie, the next game will have a celebrity talking in it. Right? I'm surprised they didn't do that already with Michael Fassbender. And I think that's going to hurt the series because you'll get all these new fans who go, "Oh, I love Syndicate," or I don't know, Assassin's Creed, Countrymen, or whatever." And the old ones, they won't even care about, or even have followed, and then they'll do all that thing is, "Oh, I know this and I know that," and that's the problem.
Well, let's look also at the history of games to movies. There are no successful movies, based on games, really. I mean, there's ones that we've liked and stuff like that, but I don't think there's actually been like a breakout hit regarding like game to movie thing. And also, a lot of people, if you say, "Oh, it's based on a game," people are like, "I haven't played the game," or something. I mean, a lot of people were like, "Oh, I've heard it was," like say Resident Evil. "Oh, I know it was a game, but I've never played that," or something like that. And I'm just curious to see, because I think something like Assassin's Creed runs the risk of just being like a period piece.
Yeah.
I mean, at least when you're playing the game, you're like experiencing it properly, and you're being involved in it. Whereas a movie, it's a different medium, and I don't think it can deal with that kind of story in the same way.
The problem for me when it comes to Assassin's Creed is like if you make a Grand Theft Auto game, or a Saints Row game, there's missions in the game you have to follow. All right.
Yeah.
How are they going to do that, mobile characters? How are they going to end up going off and doing stuff? To me, that just seems weird. You can't do that in a game. In a series, they could have.
Yeah.
All we got to do is look at like Arrow, where he's on a mission every time to stop certain criminals. You could do that. But with a film, I don't think it's possible.
No.
I'm looking forward to seeing the result, but I don't think it's going to be as Assassin's Creed as we hope it will be.
No, I'm curious if they're going to go down the Desmond line, or if they're going to start out from Abstergo kind of thing. And also, I mean, even say like when, like you say, if you employ somebody like Michael Fassbender to be your character, I mean, Assassin's Creed hasn't stuck with one assassin since Revelations now.
The thing is Michael Fassbender going to go into the Animus and then be the assassin?
Yeah, exactly.
Or is it going to be that is the assassin and there's no Animus? Because you know what these movies are like. Sometimes they don't have what happens in a game at all.
Well, this is the problem. Well, even like, I mean, that's the thing. At least with the games, Nolan North wasn't like Ezio. He was just Desmond, and then it was somebody completely different as Ezio. Whereas, obviously, if you're going to employ somebody like Michael Fassbender, you're going to get your money's worth, and you're going to probably have him as both the assassin and, say, Desmond. But like you say, the problem is I mean, we've got. I mean, have you seen the pictures of the Suicide Squad movie?
I have.
With Will Smith, and they're like, but he's not always going to have the mask on, because you won't. Why would you employ Will Smith if you're going to stick a mask on him all the time? So.
But I say that's the problem. To be honest, things like Suicide Squad, they should have new people in them, not famous people.
Yeah.
Because it's not.
Sorry, I just had to say that, by the way.
Well, I agree with you on that one. I think Harley Quinn looks too mild.
Yeah.
But who knows? There might be CGI on the face.
Well, it might be interesting. Yeah, exactly.
John says, Lord knows that Michael Fassbender movies are difficult to review.
Yeah, he's a very difficult guy to, yeah.
Oh, dear. I can't laugh at that one because that's just,
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Elton John, by the way, if I didn't say.
So,
I was going to say, see, this is the problem. Talking about the movies and things, it's like these adverts, these cream adverts for faces.
oh yeah.
They should. Why? I know they have celebrities in because it makes people go out and buy, but these money opportunities could be going to people who are not as big as they are, who need some exposure.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, and I feel like that's what kind of takes away from the movies sometimes, because there's some great actors and actresses out there who could uh, do that probably better than people like Will Smith, because it's you don't expect a movie like that to have big stars.
No, exactly.
I mean,
Well,
Chris,
it's like,
go on,
yeah, sorry, you're saying.
go on.
No, I was gonna say it's like in a way, Billy West, who does voices in Futurama, he has always said he hates now with the voice acting situation that so many celebrities are being the ones employed to do voice acting on like movies and that, because they're the names that are able to
Yeah.
pull people in. Whereas the actual people that are trained voice actors, to do many characters, as he does say, they're not getting employed because they're not the big names to get.
Well,
I mean, we've said there are so many celebrities, they cannot voice act to save their lives, but because they're the big name, they're the ones that will pull in the
so this is the
audiences.
problem. You'd watch films like Robin Hood or old Disney films. You
Yeah,
didn't care about the voices. You care about the film. Well, now
yeah,
if you get, let's say, Shark Fate or whatever, or Happy Fate, or a good
yeah,
example, Despicable Me, you've got Steve Carell in there, you've got Melissa Cosgrove, people that are known from the kids' side,
yeah.
from the comedy side. And I always think to myself, these should go to people who actually deserve it, you know?
Oh, look, Alvin and the Chipmunks. What was it? There was Justin Long and that as the voice of Alvin, and you're like, why does it matter? It's Justin Long. You can't tell it's Justin Long because his voice is sped up. It's
Well,
like,
exactly.
why? You know.
John says, sorry, Tash, I know you've been sick, but I had to throw that joke in there.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't laugh at the moment. It's so annoying.
And
But thank you.
but yeah, I don't get it. Why can't I go and voice act? You know what I mean? Do
Yeah,
voiceovers if I'm a professional. I mean, The Simpsons recently lost some of their voice actors.
yeah,
But that's not too bad because it's been cancelled anyway.
yeah,
But it's like these voice actors. What people forget is voice actors are important.
yes,
David Hayter is a prime example for Metal Gear Solid. Right?
yeah,
Because he did movies and shows as well, right?
yeah,
He's gone, and we've got Kiefer Sutherland. Does
yeah,
Kiefer Sutherland have that intensity? Does he have that character? No. Will people go, oh, he's awesome? Of course they will, because they're idiots.
yeah,
But they won't. They'll forget about David Hayter, and there'll be like 4 more Metal Gear Solids, probably with Kiefer Sutherland, who's a crackhead, and that puts me off the game
yeah,
because I'm used to that voice actor. If
yeah,
I'm watching, let's say I'm watching Pokemon. Pokemon's a good example. I
yeah,
think in the 10th, 11th season, the character's voice changes of Ash Ketchum.
yeah,
It goes from being like something like this, like, oh yeah, that's good, like that, to this.
yeah.
Oh, it's good.
Oh, God, yeah.
And then it changes again because it's someone else
It's somebody else, yeah,
who talks more with a girly voice.
yeah,
And you're just like, come on. You know what I
yeah.
mean? How hard is it to pay a voice actor?
Well, it's like Michael Ironside, and Sam Fisher. I know Michael Ironside was a movie star before he did Sam Fisher, but what I'm saying is he was that voice, and it was only because of problems with Ubisoft that he stopped being that voice, and now it's some young guy, and it's just like it's not the same gravitas that that Sam Fisher had, because he was that all commanding, mercenary and everything, and now it's just like some young guy. You're just like, oh, okay, whatever.
Well, it's like the guy who does Archer.
Yeah,
He does Bob's Burgers as well, and they're
yeah,
both 2 very popular shows.
yeah. I like Bob's Burgers.
I have to admit, I do like Bob's Burgers, but I don't like his voice on Bob's Burgers because it makes me think of Archer constantly.
Yeah.
But there is a great episode in Archer where he's in Bob's Burgers.
Oh yeah, when they swapped it, where he was
Yeah.
like, you know, he was under like in, and then they let him believe that he was Bob or whatever, you know.
Yeah, and he was undercover, and these guys come and he kills them, and he goes back to ISIS. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Because it's like such a good, you know, like crossover kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because you're like awesome, you know. Because
Yeah.
I like crossovers, like they had the Family Guy Simpsons crossover, didn't they?
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet. So
I haven't either, to be honest, but I'm looking forward to seeing it.
yeah.
I think I've got the latest season I've got to get through.
I haven't seen the Simpsons Futurama one either. So
when was that?
they did do one, but I haven't seen it yet. It was part of the whole, like, because they did the Family Guy. Simpsons did a number of crossovers with different things. So
you know, I haven't watched The Simpsons in years.
I haven't watched it. You know what? I've been taping it every now and then when it comes on, because and it's just been so rubbish the last 3 seasons. You know, more than that. But Last Avenger said Tetris the movie. Is it possible?
Yes.
Come on, they made a Battleship movie. I think anything's possible.
I've got a few questions here. I think Tetris is. You could put people sitting in the actual Tetris things and moving them about for like 2 hours.
Yeah. That would be so much better than some of the other crap that's on at the cinema at the moment.
What's this? Malcolm, why are you so anti-Kiefer Sutherland? You know, I'm one of those people. I have a thing against alcoholism, whatever you say. I always mess these words up.
Yeah.
There you go, alcoholism. And drug addicts. I have a big problem with drug addicts and people with alcohol problems. And the problem with Keith Jones is he's been given many chances, and he's always passed out in his car, half naked, with coke up his nose and everything. And you know what? I don't believe in rewarding people like that. But sadly, in today's world, people like that get all the attention. They get rewarded when they should be put on an island and shot. Right? I know people won't like me for this, but I have a cousin who was both. Right?
Yeah.
She, in my mind, my poor cousin, in her mind, I feel bad for her because I never got to meet her before she was that way. Right. But everybody who does goes, oh, she was sweet, she was amazing, you know, she was bubbly and all this. Me, I'm like, let's take her to an island, let's shoot her in the head like a bloody zombie from the T-virus crap, and put them out of their misery. Because if you're not going to change over certain things happening, whether it's losing your kids, people dying with you, you're a lost cause. That's the way I see it. And I think for people who support people like Kiefer Sutherland, support people like Lindsay Lohan, support people like bloody, I don't know, anybody like that.
Brittany or whatever.
Brittany. They need to sort themselves out, because by following these people, respecting these people, you're no better than they are. Right?
I think the problem is sorry, I don't mean to.
I'm done.
No, I was just going to agree with you, as I think there's only so many times you can give them chances. You know, as somebody myself from an alcoholic family, is that you give them the benefit of doubt time after time after time. You get driven more and more down by them, and unfortunately, like you say, and yes, there are success stories. You know, there are people that have reformed, and yay to them. But unfortunately, there are the people that do not. You know, and like you say, they get publicity, they get this, that, and the other, and it feels like they get money. You know, they get rewarded for. And I'm not.
Well, let's put it this way. My cousin, she woke up to someone dead beside her.
Yeah.
She lost 2 kids. She was in an abusive relationship because of drugs, and she probably still is on drugs. I haven't spoken to her in years, right?
Right.
But it doesn't make me want to spend time with her or talk to her, right? Because I'm like, why would I want to be around somebody like that, you know? I had to grow up as a little kid watching that.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't really have patience for these people, right?
No.
I don't want to be near them in case I catch something, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to look at them. I don't want to see them. I don't want to know them in my vicinity, right? Now, people may go, well, that's a bit harsh. That's horrible. These people need help. And yeah, they do. But in order to get help, you need to seek help. If they're not seeking help, they're scum.
Yeah.
And people that, like I said a minute ago, support them, you're supporting lost causes. And by doing that, you're just helping them be the selfish pieces of crap they are. You know?
Yeah.
So there. That answers your question. Last Avenger, John. All right?
Don't get us wrong. Kiefer Sutherland has done some good stuff. I just don't think he should be the voice of Snake.
He's coming back. He's coming back possibly to do the next season of 24.
Oh, there's still all debates about that. 1 minute it's going to happen, then it's not going to happen, and then it's... But I'm just curious to find out what's going to happen regarding the airing of X-Files in the UK, because we've got a US air date, but don't know who's going to pick it up in the UK at the moment. So
I know who's going to pick it up. The Playboy channel.
MTV. Well, Sky sold the rights years ago to show it, so I'm curious if Fox will show it, but they tend not to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I've noticed Fox in England in a lot of cases, or FX. They don't. Yeah. They for some reason shows for some shows like American Dad and stuff, but the big shows they seem to not have on the English version.
What cracks me up as well is a lot of the stuff they show on the English version aren't even 20th Century Fox programs. They're like stuff like the AMC, you know, Walking Dead, Falling Skies. I don't know if that's Fox, but it just cracks me up that a lot of the shows that Fox show don't seem to be 20th Century Fox programs.
It is weird, and that happens. You know, I mean,
that's why I'm wondering. I thought it would be logical that they would show X-Files, but then at the same time, I'm like, actually, probably not, because you know.
Well, it's weird. It's like you'll have a landscape film over there, but over it would be something else like Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
And you're like, how does that make sense? Because you'd think both churches would have it, wouldn't you? Because of it being owned by one.
Yeah, exactly.
John says movies or game companies put the stars' names on the marquee or the box bigger than the actual title. Yeah. Names do sell regardless of actual talent.
Very, very true and very sad, I think.
I think the problem is, I think nowadays it's not about what you've got, it's about who you are.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is that's why we have crap films. That's why we have terrible role models. That's why we've got kids who end up looking terrible because people will follow.
You know what? I'm getting frustrated at the moment with the very sad, pathetic people that used to be great actors now doing very pathetic adverts here in the UK. We've got Harvey Keitel doing some crap, car insurance company adverts. We've got all things Sylvester Stallone doing a Warburton's bread advert.
Yeah.
And now they've got I don't know if you know about it, the whole compare the market meerkats thing.
Yeah.
So, they've now got this advert where the meerkats are on this cart going around the Hollywood studios, and they run over Arnold Schwarzenegger, who then tells them to get lost and that. And I'm like, how sad is this to see these great actors? I mean, it's sad now when you think of like Sylvester Stallone and Arnie. And I mean, we said about the state of, say, the Expendables movies. But to see these really pathetic adverts with these big names in, it just really makes me sad because it's like that's how desperate they are really for paychecks now.
It is. Well, this is the problem. I think the problem is people can go on highs and lows. The problem is massive career. So Robert De Niro has had a massive career, and the last 5-6 years have been all terrible films. All right.
Yeah.
Where do they put all their money? Because I'd do my movies during my prime, and then I wouldn't do anymore. I'd retire. Yeah. You know what I mean? Harrison Ford, for instance, right?
Oh God!
Everybody gets angry with me because I call him an old pensioner that no one wants to see anymore. And I'm like, I have respect for the guy when he was doing the movies properly back in the 80s and 90s.
Oh, and then you watch stuff like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull and stuff, and it's like, oh my God.
And now I look at films like that, and people go, "Oh, he was brilliant in it." I'm like, no, he wasn't.
No.
He was far from that. He was more like, how can I put it? He almost ruined it.
Yeah.
That's why they share
Well,
the
there was
booth
once
in
upon
it
a
as
time that
well.
his stoic kind of non-reaction to stuff was the in thing, but now he just looks so bored and wooden. It's just like,
Well, this is the thing, you know. I uh, I mean, I liked him in Star Wars, the original ones.
yeah,
You know, I liked him when he was in that, but I can't imagine him being good in it now.
no.
You know, like I said before, the only reason they've got their names right is to sell to the people that complained about the other three. Oh, they
Well, I
didn't
think
have
that's
these
the
people in it.
problem. Yeah, I think that's the only reason why they brought them back for the new trilogy is because they know that it'll be because, like you say, the prequels were such a flop.
Certainly. I mean, I like the prequels more than the originals, but you know, I think that's my generation from growing up with them.
Yeah, growing up with it. Yeah, yeah,
You
exactly.
know, but I do love the original ones. I do think they're really good. But I don't want to see Mark Hamill. I don't want to see Carrie Fisher. I don't want to see bloody Harrison Ford limping about like,
Yeah, yeah,
you
exactly.
know. And what's Harrison Ford going to do? Have a sex scene with Carrie Fisher in it?
Oh
You
my
know what I
god.
mean? Can
Yeah.
you imagine seeing that wrinkly bum? Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Princess Leia, I'm going to lay you, Leia. You know? Yeah. Let me go get the Viagra, you know, and you're
oh
just like,
God.
oh, I don't want to see that stuff.
Well, it's like, we said last time, because the new trailer had come out, and it's just that image of Harrison Ford in the same old costume with the same old hairdo, and it's just like, really? It's like 40 years later, and they couldn't be asked to get him a new costume or
Yeah.
hairdo. It's like,
And what about the Chewbacca being the same colour?
yeah, I know. I still think he should have had some grey streaks.
Yeah, it's
Donna was like, well, Donna was like, but they don't age the same. And I'm like, yeah, but it'd be nice to see that he'd aged a little bit or something.
what they need to do is they need to show Jabba the Hutt.
Yes,
That's who I want to come back, Jabba the Hutt, because
yeah,
that's
Jabba
all
the
I
Hutt.
care about. Jabba the Hutt is what made the original
You
Star
just want to
Wars.
get Princess Leia in her gold bikini again, don't you? That's what it
Oh,
is.
it's true. I do. Now I do.
Now you do. Yeah, I was gonna say now she's yeah.
What's this? I've seen Arnold Schwarzenegger in overseas commercials for a while. Companies pay him ungodly amounts for a 30-second commercial. Now, almost nobody in America will ever see. $2 million for 2 days' work is not a bad deal. Still pathetic, though. Yes, it is, John. Yes,
It
it
is.
is. I gotta be honest. If they said ego is 2 million to this, I won't turn it down.
It just makes you feel embarrassed to watch it because you think he was the California governor and everything, and yet then you see him so desperate for work that he's doing these really sad adverts where, and like I say, to get run over in a golf cart by meerkats, and then just to be like, oh, you get out. It's like,
I guess,
oh.
I guess in a way it shows he's got a good sense of humour.
I guess. I mean, that's the only, watching the Warburtons advert with Sylvester Stallone, they've done it in this kind of expendable style, like, but also like they've put in a lot of other Stallone kind of movies that, like paid homage. And in a way, it's nice to see that they've got that, he's got enough of a sense of humor to do that. But at the same time, it makes you go, no, really? How desperate are you for a paycheck? Where is all
Well,
your money?
well, you heard they're bringing out a new Rocky film, right?
I did hear this, but I heard there was going to
Uh,
be another Rambo or something as well.
there is. There's going to be another Rambo. There's going to be another Expendables,
Yeah,
and there's going to be another Rocky plus an Expendables TV series.
yeah.
And I have to admit, I think it's all rubbish. I went and saw Rocky Balboa in the cinema. You know, the sixth one.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big, massive Rocky fan.
I was gonna say, yeah.
I love Rocky, and that whole film was one big mess. He knew
Yeah.
the little girl, and then he was taking her home, and when she got older, because he knew when she was little, and she wanted to sleep with him, and it was just like, what? This girl you knew when she was like 5 or 6, or whatever age it was, now has a massive crush on you and wants to sleep with you. Oh yeah, that wouldn't make you feel awkward, would it? Right?
Yeah, it's not remotely. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Then he fights the guy, and it's like, yeah, the guy would have knocked him out.
Yeah.
Then out comes grudge match between him and Robert De Niro boxing in a ring as old rivals, and this woman they're in love with looks like she's half their age, and you're just like, And now we get a seventh Rocky coming out, which means my Rocky complete box set collection will have to go for that.
We'll have to go, yeah.
And now I'm just like, I hate the world. I hate Sylvester Stallone. I hate the Expendables, because the Expendables, I enjoy the Expendables films, but they shouldn't be cinema movies.
No, they should be straight to DVD releases at this point. Yeah,
they should be. Rambo was a joke when it was number 4.
Yeah,
you know, it was awful because the CGI in it was terrible, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, I'm like, come on, let's see some new action heroes like Scott Adkins. Why can't he replace Jean-Claude Van Damme and become the next big thing? Amazing martial artist. And do you know where he started?
Yeah, back in Do
you know where he started, Scott Adkins? He started in 6 episodes of EastEnders in 2003.
Yeah.
He was a barman. It was a barman, but they hired, and the character played Sam Mitchell was crazy about him always. And then he left, and then he went to America where he became a big superstar.
Yeah.
You know,
there's a guy. I can't remember the actor's name, but I know he's turned up in loads of stuff. He was just some guy that worked at the garage in Coronation Street, and it's like, it's funny when you then see him turn up in Hollywood movies.
Are you talking about the ginger guy?
No, he was dark-haired. He was in the first the second Resident Evil movie, I think it was. I can't remember. Anyway, he was dark-haired guy, and he was this really scrawny. I can't remember the actor's name. I can't. You know what? If I saw him in something, I'd be like, it's him again. But it is interesting to see him. You know, like you say with Scott Adkins. You know, to be in something just a soap and then to become this big name. Yeah, but look, even Jason Statham seems to have disappeared off the face of the earth. The only thing he's known for now is the Expendables movies. It's like,
who's this?
I said Jason Statham.
Oh no, it's still doing a lot of movies. He recently released Wild Card, and he's in the new spy movie with Melissa McCarthy.
Oh, I do want to see that. That looks silly. It looks awful, tacky, but I do want to see it.
And he's got like 5 more movies on his IMDb page to come out.
All right. You know, now you say it, I do remember he's in that one, the spy one. So, but I'm just saying, he's not as much talked about as he was, you know, kind of thing. So,
John says, the next Expendables movie will be the Expendables with an all-female cast. Well, you know what? They're bringing the Expendables 4 and the Expendables.
Yeah, I heard there was going to be both.
I'm just hoping the Expendables has Cynthia Rothrock in it. And Michelle Yeoh, because that would be an amazing thing, because they teamed up in Yes Madam,
right?
Which was a Hong Kong film back in 1984, if I'm correct. And it would be great seeing them together again, kicking ass, because that would be like a freak out moment, being 31 years later. But they definitely have to have Cynthia Rothrock and Michelle Yeoh in it. The problem is Michelle Yeoh now has got a more, more respectable acting career, so she might not.
Right, she probably won't. Yeah, Selena Jade would be awesome. Shadow from Arrow. Yeah, she's pretty badass. So.
Because I'm trying to think of some, old B movie.
Badass kind of.
Yeah. I think they should definitely go with a couple, if not one, a couple Asian actresses.
Yeah.
But Cynthia Rothrock definitely has to be in it, in my view.
Yeah. I think it's, coming back to the whole Joss Whedon thing. I think, we've talked about this before with the whole making women like the whole, what was it, the female Snake Plissken, and it makes me sad when, they're not making characters that are just fresh and new, kind of to do the Expendables. It's an interesting concept to have these kick-ass women, but they're not coming up with a decent team, if you know what I mean.
The thing is, I think the problem is, it's like, if you look at the Expendables, half of them shouldn't even be in it.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Is it Terry Crews?
Yeah.
Yeah, Terry Crews, to me, he's not even an action hero. What was he doing in it?
Yeah, exactly.
Randy Couture wasn't an action hero either. He was an MMA fighter. It's cool that he's in there. But the point is, when they have these big, massive casts, hardly even get used.
Yeah.
Jet Li wasn't used to his full potential in any of the movies.
Yeah, no, that is the big problem with like these big casts. If they have all these names and then what? They have like one scene in it that's all of 2 minutes long or
Yeah,
something, and
I mean,
they say their old catchphrase or whatever, and then that's it. It's like,
well, it's like Bruce Willis. I'm putting Bruce Willis in. I'm like, oh yeah, I can't wait to do what he does. And he played Church, and all he did was talk in the first one. Then in the
yeah.
second one, all he did was shoot alongside bloody Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Well, that was especially like the Expendables. They were like, oh, we're finally going to get to see like the 80s Trinity, you know, Sylvester
Yeah.
Stallone, Arnie, and Bruce Willis in the same scene together. And what
And
did they do? Go, I'm back, or whatever it was, and that was it.
and they had Chuck Norris in the second one as well for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. I mean,
You
how
know,
can you not have more of Chuck Norris in a movie? It's like,
I cheer for someone who's like 70. He looks so good.
he looks ridiculously good for somebody who's 70 odd, whatever it is.
I got to be honest. So I watched the films and I remember thinking myself, well, where's Jet Li going? Because Jet Li jumped out of a plane, never to be seen again. And I was like, but he's a part of the thing. Then you got Antonio Banderas in number 3, Mel Gibson, Ronda Rousey, and all these people. And you're like, don't have so many because you can bring those people in other films.
Yeah.
What's this?
Supposedly Sigourney Weaver is going to be the See, Sigourney Weaver's still a badass actress. So
I don't agree with her being in Expendables, huh?
no, I don't think she should be an Expendable. She's an amazing
Um,
actress. I'd love to meet her, but I don't think she should be.
Again, that's too big of a name.
Yeah,
The Expendables, really, when you think about it, doesn't have that many big names in there that are not big names from the past, but not now.
yeah,
What Sigourney Weaver is doing is in the new Alien film,
yeah.
you know. But
Have you seen the new advert for Terminator Genesis?
I've
How awful does it look? It's just
it's
ridiculous.
one of the things that's going to make it worse is being a PG-13.
Yeah,
Jason Statham is starting to go the straight-to-video territory of most of his movies. You know, I have to agree, but I kind of feel like that's not too bad. Because the problem is, and I'm sure Tash agree with me on this, is in today's society, you can do straight video and do big budget movies. As in the 80s and 90s and so forth, and early 2000s, you'd be either straight to video or you'd be a money maker in the cinema.
yeah.
Look at people like Chris Hemsworth. He's done a couple of straight to video movies in between things like the Avengers and stuff.
Well, look, something like Cabin in the Woods wasn't a big hit at the cinema, but on DVD it has done so well, and I really enjoyed that movie. But I mean, that, like you say, we're now, because of, say, the state of the cinema, you know, like how expensive it is, how inconvenient it is, the whole stupid 3D fad. It's a lot easier for people to just wait for something to come out on Blu-ray or be on Netflix or whatever than it is to go to the cinema, I think, now.
Yeah, exactly.
And as you've said, I mean, you don't go to the cinema because it's an unpleasant experience. And I think a lot of people, I mean, like you say, not as many people, say in the 80s, not as many people had VHS, you know, VCRs. The 90s, then we started getting DVDs and stuff, but it was still then seen that going straight to VHS or whatever was a tacky thing. But I think with the state of digital downloads and stuff like that, we're in a society now where it is way more acceptable to just get a movie that's straight to VHS, to digital or whatever.
Well, this is the thing, you know. I mean, I'm getting quite angry because there's a lot of films that are coming out now that get Blu-ray, and there's so many movies out there that should be on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
You know? And I just
like you're getting your Glee that's only on DVD and stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
Like, why should I be getting Glee season 5 and 6 on DVD when I've got series 1 to 4 on Blu-ray? Why?
Yeah, you expect like the first season to not be on Blu-ray or something, not
What
the
was
last
it?
season.
There was Bates Motel's not going to get a Blu-ray over it at the minute, so I'm going to have to import that from England. Bitten season 1 as Blu-ray, season 2 won't be.
Yeah.
And you just sit there going, they want to destroy the bloody Blu-ray thing because why else would they keep doing that?
See, this is why, and I've said to you, I mean, this is why I've been like weary about buying Blu-rays now, because you know, DVDs are still quite popular, and I feel like Blu-ray is dying off a lot quicker because, unfortunately, now, like you say, so much. I mean, like you get those bloody ultraviolet sets. They come with a code to download it off the internet. It's just
Well,
like.
see, this is what annoys me. Thanks, John. John said you guys make good points.
Thank you, John.
The thing that it takes me of ultraviolets is I used to get my movies, I used to be able to sell the ultraviolets online.
Yeah.
Right. Then I got banned from eBay from doing it. Where I was making like $7 to $10 per ultraviolet, which was basically paying more than the movie I was paying for.
Yeah.
And I did that with like $300-400 worth of thing, you know? And I could buy myself other movies and so forth.
Yeah.
Right? Because I don't believe in ultraviolet or digital HD. I don't believe in it. I think I believe digital HD has to do with the devil.
Yeah.
And I believe that if you're not involved with the devil, you need to go out and you need to buy Blu-rays. Blu-rays only, with DVDs that are not available on Blu-ray. And if you don't, I think you need to go out and buy some.
Yeah.
Because I think the DVDs are more prominent, and I think DVDs are more popular. But I think the problem is, it's like TV shows. How many TV shows come out on Blu-ray which are any good? I mean, the Ultimate Fighter series should be out on Blu-ray. You know, Broly's War's on Blu-ray, or Foyle's War is on Blu-ray, and I'm just like, what's that doing on Blu-ray?
Well, you know, I'm waiting for X-Files on Blu-ray, and this has been talked about for what, over a year now? And I'm still waiting for it. And you're waiting for it because you want to get back into watching it, but obviously you're waiting for the Blu-ray. But the problem is now Netflix are showing it in HD in the US. But, and I know you said this is something about Netflix are talking about showing all their shows like worldwide.
Yeah.
Netflix at the moment are not showing X-Files at all in the UK on their UK server. Now, when I was ill, I was sat there, and like I say, I ran out of stuff to watch. I mean, yeah, there was tons of stuff, but you know, I was sat there. I was like, I really fancy watching an X-Files episode. I went on Netflix, no X-Files, so I ended up getting my DVDs out to watch it that way. Now that sounds really silly. I mean, I went on Microsoft Video because I had the Xbox on at the time. You have to pay like £2 to watch one episode.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I ain't doing that when I own them on DVD. I'm sick, but I'm not that sick.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing that irritates me. Things like Suburgatory, season 2, 3, and whatever didn't come out. Right?
Yeah.
And a lot of shows are getting one season come out on DVD and the rest not.
Yeah. Well, like I got you Blue Bloods and stuff, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like that, right? Like, for instance, let's say Rocky Blue got put out of commission.
Yeah.
And you could only get on digital.
Right?
Yeah. In order to go digital, you would pay like $40-50 for the season, or whatever that was. So, or you pay $1, $2, $3 each. I don't think so.
Well, look, you can either buy a hard copy, like that you can have in your collection, for say $30. Why would you then pay an extra $20, say, where you're not? There's no packaging involved, there's no printing, there's no discs and that. Why would you pay $20 extra for something that you don't have a hard copy for, that you have to have the space for on your hard drive?
Well, this is the thing.
They're making more money out of not producing any discs than they are from...
This is the thing. Technically, if you buy it through digital, when you're not buying it on your system, it's in the cloud, right?
Yeah.
But if you buy it on the system, also, obviously, it's not on the cloud, is it? It's on your system.
No. Yeah.
But my view is this. Anyone who pays for ultraviolet or that to have something that could one day disappear if a company goes out of business, and people might go, it's not going to happen. It will.
Oh, we've learned it from games.
Yeah, exactly, right? You will find out that you've ended up wasting more money than you would have done if you'd have bought the hard copies.
Yeah.
If they want me to get, like, let's say, for instance, it's always saying Philadelphia, let's say season 10 didn't come out, I'd find a way of getting a download of it without paying, because I'm not going to pay for bloody something digital when it's not even that great. I don't like the buffering. I don't like the stopping and freezing. It pisses me off.
Oh, yeah.
We've got a comment from Last Avenger. What are your thoughts on VHS hipsters? People who still watch and collect VHS.
I still watch VHS. I've got movies that are only available on VHS.
But are you a hipster?
Oh, I'm so not a hipster. Are you kidding? I'm just a technology nut, to be honest. I'm not a hipster, but I've got stuff that's only available on VHS, and unfortunately, say like a lot of the movies that I want to review, say like when I did the Freddy OSFR 07, I've got a couple of other movies I'm working on at the moment. They're only available on VHS, as far as I know. So, but I wouldn't purposely go out and. I mean, I've got the X-Files VHSs and stuff like that, but I'm not somebody. If there's a choice, if it's available on Blu-ray or something, I'm not going to go. You know what? I'm going to buy that on VHS. I'm not that kind. No, that's.
Myself, I think these people respect original media.
Yeah. Oh, I still love cassette tapes.
Because, yeah, exactly. I mean, these were the original ways you watch stuff, right?
Yeah.
The lines on video are what made some films so perfect, was the way the video lines were, right?
Oh, it's like I've joked about, some of the VHS, especially the X-Files ones, and you watch it and then you get the line and you're like, yeah, I've watched that scene over and over again.
Yeah,
you can tell the scene.
Exactly, right? I used to get over Angel and stuff because I'd keep doing it, right?
Yeah.
Or a good example is my original American Ninja 4.
Oh, yeah.
There'd be bits at the beginning where the lines would be going through right at the beginning of the title thing because I'd been watching that constantly,
Yeah. Oh, I saw you got your Blu-rays recently. So.
Yeah, right there, I'll show you quickly.
I felt so happy for you because I know you were so excited.
I was so over the moon. Look, there they are. My perfection. My one of
your
my
childhood there.
It is my childhood. And in one more week, my favourite movie in the whole world will be on Blu-ray, and all my favourite 3 of my movies will have been on Blu-ray for the first time, and I'll be so happy.
Nice.
Yes.
Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just saying because.
And listening, I'll say this quickly while I think about this. And listening to the commentary on this, I heard there's going to be a sequel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they want Michael Dudikoff. Apparently, there's a movie that's been written, and Michael Dudikoff's up for it, and it's going to have Joe like 35 years later.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I was like, and I freaked out. I probably freaked out like the biggest nerd on the earth about anything. I screamed. I fell on the floor in tears. I was all happy, and I'm not afraid to say it because it's one of my favourite things of all time.
You know what? It's like me. Sorry, I didn't mean. I just wanted to quickly say it's like me, and I've said it on the chat. And I stand by my fact that I have reservations about the new X-Files and stuff like that. But I tell you, when I see all the stuff that David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson have been doing recently and stuff like that, it makes me go so fangirly. I'm just like, oh my God, I can't survive this.
Exactly. It's such a crazy thing, Yeah. It's like, wow,
It's like merchandise. I mean, for you to get those on Blu-ray, you never would have thought that you would get those on Blu-ray
I never thought they would. And if I'd have been in England, I would have got them the same day. It was only by chance that a guy had them on eBay.
Yeah.
But I was able to get them.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. All that time later to...
That's the limited edition box set.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, it's just a piece of cardboard with the movies inside.
But
I ended up paying $40 more for that bit of cardboard just so I could have it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, how nutty is that? I show what's inside the cardboard, right? Just to show, right? Because if you buy the normal version, it's got the cover of this with 1 and 4 in a normal case.
Right, yeah.
Or you can buy them all separately for like £12.50 each. If you get the new edition box, all it's got is that guy. Can you see it? Like David Bradley in there, and then it's got.
Yeah.
See?
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice, but it's very flimsy.
Yeah, it's still nice.
You could only get this. You could only get this set bit from 88 Films. So.
Oh wow.
But yeah, I never thought these would have ever come out on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
One of the things that does upset me is they haven't all got audio commentaries. But number one had a making of documentary, which was an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed watching that, but I'd like to have had a documentary on all of them.
Right, yeah.
And another thing that
would have been
upset
good,
me
yeah.
was because Michael Dudikoff was doing movies at the time, he wasn't in the commentary, so that really upset me.
Oh, yeah.
Because obviously, you know, but
It would have been nice to, yeah.
I saw a documentary, so it was all right. But
You take what you can get, you know.
yeah, I'll tell you what I can get. But if that other one comes up, I'm gonna be like, if it comes down to cinema, I'm gonna be like, cinema day one. You know, no one else will be in there. You know.
That's like I say, to be able to, when they said, you know, new X-Files merchandise, I was just like, excuse me,
Wow.
just, you know, 13 years later, it's like,
I like that.
I don't like the way they do it though, because they do this. They had put a sticker on it where they're like, "Oh, the way the printing's done, you know, like if there's folds in the T-shirt when it goes through the printer, it's individual to each shirt." And I'm like, "Yeah, but it still looks shit because look, it's got white patches. It looks like I'm just, you know."
It doesn't look the best. How many did you get?
But I mean, there was a special deal where you got like, if you got one, you got 10% off. Two, you got 20% off, and three, you got 30% off. So I got 3 shirts. So.
Oh, that's good. You know, is that so? Was that one you're wearing now? No one as well.
Yes.
Okay.
I got this one, and the other one I got was, if I can find it. Sorry, but yeah, no. To get those movies, that must have been amazing for you.
It was. It was. I can't believe it.
That's the other one.
That is lovely. I like that one the best, actually.
Yeah, I prefer that, but yeah, no. So you know you've watched your Angel VHSs and stuff like that.
Well,
so.
yeah. Not going back to that because we went off track for a minute there.
Sorry.
No, that's all right.
It was an interesting thing to bring up about your American Ninja stuff.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's funny because it's just one of those weird feelings where you feel like it won't happen.
Yeah.
So anyway, the VHS lines that made it so perfect, right?
Yeah.
And Malcolm, you will be the first person to get that new American Ninja movie. You'll be like a giddy teenage girl. You know what? And I won't deny it either. I will be. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of off track completely. So anyway, the lines that made the movie so perfect and everything. And there's amazing movies out there still that are not available on DVD or Blu-ray at all.
Yeah.
You know, and there's times when I feel like getting a VHS player and buying those movies.
Yeah.
I go to myself, because there's a movie store near me that has like thousands of VHSs in.
Right, yeah.
I'm like, should I buy a VHS player for like $10 and then go in there and look for movies? Because there's ninja films that have never been released on DVD or Blu-ray, you know? And I'll go, oh, should I? But then there's that part that's like, people like that, they kind of make me annoyed because they go on about how VHS is everything and DVD and Blu-ray isn't.
Yeah.
And it's a very mixed feeling because at the same time, VHS was practically the first format, properly owned, so it is kind of like the nearest you have to original and special.
Yeah.
And tape was a very, very beautiful thing when it was released. It was one of those things where you watched it at home and you were so blown away. Yeah. You know, then DVD came like kind of ruined VHS. But I think these people that go on about it's, you know, I think we all need to move forward.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I understand being in the background wanting the VHS because you can't get them anywhere else. But at the same time, VHS disintegrates.
Yeah, exactly. It goes with time. And I mean, it's like, you know, I've got stuff that I recorded on VHS. You know, I mean, I've still got bloody X-Files episode I taped off the TV years ago. But, you know, even just like camcorder stuff, say like when I've been away or stuff like that, it, like you say, it disintegrates with age and stuff and gets worse. And thankfully I have a DVD recorder, so I'm able to put that stuff onto DVD. But it is nice still to sometimes just watch it from the tape direct.
But the problem
My only problem, sorry.
So the problem is DVDs. The DVDs get funny.
Oh yeah, they stop working. Yeah, they stop working. They get scratched or they get disc errors and stuff like that. Annoying thing for me with say like my X-Files VHSs is how much bloody space they take up.
Yeah, you tell me about it.
It's like, bloody hell, it's like, just take up the whole bloody, it's,
Oh,
my poor shelf is so packed now, it's got bloody,
look all those Funko Pops.
I know,
Well, talking about VHSs and turn up room. When I lived at my nan, I had about 1,000 of them, and I had them
yeah,
stacked up to the ceiling right next to my TV, right? Which was the
yeah,
stupidest thing possible.
oh, because, yeah, they get,
Because this was when you had the big TVs as well, right?
yeah,
And I went
yeah,
out the woman in and I'd go through it and I'd go, oh, what one do I want to watch? What one do I want to watch? Well, one night I was
mm.
in bed, it collapsed and it fell straight through the TV, right through the back of the TV, right?
No,
Yeah, and broke my DVD player, which was next to my TV, next to it, right? Then fell on the floor, right? And broke, what else was it? Oh, broke my Sega Master System, which I had in a box, went through the box, went and broke it.
I
I was
had,
like, I hate
you
VHS.
must have just been like absolutely
I
devastated.
was.
I had two shelves above my bed because I was in a small bedroom at my family house. And I had the shelf directly above me had books on, and the shelf above that had my VHSs on, including the X-Files ones and everything. Anyway, one night I was in bed. Now, thankfully, I had a strange dream where I was called out to, and I had to, like, like that kind of Tash, Tash kind of thing. And I woke up, and literally a second after I woke up, the top shelf crashed and took down the shelf below it and all landed on top of me. And had I not woken up, I wouldn't have been able, I was able to protect myself because I heard the creaking just as it went. But that was scary. And it is amazing how, because they were so heavy, it only took like one tape over the limit and that would be it. It would take down the whole bloody shelf.
We've got some comments. David said DVD VCR combos at Amazon for $40. It's not bad. That's from John. And James says, hi guys, I'm watching. How are we all?
Alive. That's my only. Which, considering 2 weeks ago I went to the doctor and said please kill me, it's quite impressive. So.
Well, I'm doing pretty good, James. Good to see you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, the thing that gets me is, there's so many things. My mum, she had this big, massive cabinet, right?
Yeah.
And in front of it was an exercise bike, right?
Yeah.
And I was sitting right underneath where that cabinet was.
Oh, right, yeah.
One day we were watching, my mum was watching some Emmerdale or something. One day it just fell, right?
Oh, jeez, yeah.
It fell, everything that was on it, which were like, like ornaments of like owls and stuff, went flying past me and crashed everywhere except on me.
Yeah.
The cabinet fell and was like hanging half and half.
Oh,
and was like that close to me, but on the bike.
But on the, yeah.
Right, so if that bike had been there, I could have been seriously damaged.
You could have been, yeah.
It was so horrible. It's so weird how that stuff happens. It's so.
That's really, yeah.
But
I don't get this whole hipster movement at the moment, though. It's really, I'm nostalgic. It's like I say about the whole retro gaming. I love playing retro style games, but I don't get this whole hipster thing. It's really.
I think they just want to be different.
Well, the problem is we're in a society now where being a geek is so much more mainstream. And I know we've talked about this before. I think with the whole, like superheroes and comics and stuff like, the superheroes becoming a lot more mainstream and stuff, it's become more mainstream to be a geek or nerd. Yeah. And I think as a result, people are looking for some other way to be the outsiders. And hipsters seems to be the new geek kind of thing.
Well, I think the point of hipsters is I think they want to be different.
Yeah.
I think they want to get attention. And I think they can get attention by saying DVDs and everything suck and with VHS is number one.
Yeah.
The problem is, as much as I agree with VHS being incredibly amazing, at the same time, I think that you need to give credit where it's due, and that DVD improved a lot of what was the matter with VHS. And a lot of reason people didn't want VHS when they went to DVD was because of space.
Yeah. Yeah,
And then,
exactly.
you know, it was the space and it was the remastered bit, but they were the two biggest reasons people wanted. Plus, you could get audio commentaries on DVDs. You could get all this other stuff.
Yeah,
VHS, I remember VHSs on the end of some of them, you'd get little 5-minute interviews,
yeah.
you know, and stuff like that. But
I still like listening to my Gene Pitney LPs. But if you then give me a CD quality version of a song, I'm going to listen to that because it hasn't got the bloody crackle on it, you know,
yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah, exactly.
Or it's stereo as opposed to mono, you know. It's
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
as much as I love my LPs, I'm still going to go. I'm sorry, technology has taken it to a point now where I can listen to a crystal clear, properly equalized, you know, no crackle thing.
Well, it's like Metal Gear Solid, the first game. It looked terrible now.
Oh,
If
it's like we
somebody,
said, we've gone back to some of these games and it's like, wow, they don't stand up to
if somebody says to me, would I play it remastered or would I play the old one? I'd have to say I'd play the remastered.
yeah,
Because as much as I loved it back then, I want to play it beautifully.
yeah,
You know, and what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to save all these different things. You know, like you said, the music,
yeah,
games, video. You know,
yeah,
people want to move forward. The
yeah.
idea of life is moving forward, experiencing new things as well as appreciating the old things, except in better quality. Why would I go out and get rid of my Blu-rays, American Ninja, and go and
Yeah,
buy the
I want my
VHSs?
VHSs or Betamax or something.
Yeah, why would I do that? You know, it's a very weird thing.
As we naturally evolve, and I
No.
think to go a step backwards is very stupid kind of thing.
Well, the thing is, in order to evolve, we have to keep moving forward.
Yeah, exactly.
If you stay behind if you stay back, staying where you were, you're never going to
Yeah,
move forward. Thus, you're going to miss out on everything else that would have made you become a better person in your life. And I don't just mean things like movies now. I'm talking about anything. You
yeah,
know, if if I watched the Blue as American Ninja and then Tash went, "Oh, I'm going to buy the VHS, watch VHS," we won't be able to talk about the commentary on it because I have no idea what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So
no,
it's
exactly.
kind of like, yeah, okay, you know.
Yeah,
It's like a good example is I've got Iron Monkey on Blu-ray. John asked me the other
right,
day, "Have you seen Iron Monkey?" Which is an Asian film.
right.
Yes, I said yes, I have. I've got the Blu-ray. I've also got the Hong Kong Legends DVD on ISO because it had a commentary and it had all these other features on there which were never released on the Blu-ray.
Yeah,
That's what I believe DVD is good for having.
yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
I have, say, like the second X-Files movie. I have the not the VHS. I have the DVD, but I also have the Blu-ray because there's very different things on both versions. So
exactly. And in reality, it should all be on the same Blu-ray disc.
it should be on the same. Yeah,
But again, the problem with DVD extras now on Blu-rays is the quality of them looks horrendous when you put on the Blu-ray. You know, when you look at the extras, because they have
yeah.
those
The one thing I hate
timestamps and
about some Blu-rays is I know I've said this before, and I think it's more to do with stuff that's not filmed in HD and then it's upscaled, is how digital it looks. You know, in that kind of when you get that pixelated kind of in the dark areas and stuff
yeah,
like that. I hate those kind of the squares that appear. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
I
Those
hate
little
those
blockets,
moments.
those little
Yeah,
blocks that appear on the faces and everything.
yeah,
Well, I tried watching God's The Devil and Bob,
yeah.
which came out from 2000. This TV series, but animated. And
Right.
do you remember the old PC games where you get these like a bit like Broken Sword?
Yeah,
It feels like I'm watching Broken Sword. It's really
really.
dated, you know?
Yeah.
And you just sit there going, nah, you know?
It's funny because I'm reviewing a game at the moment that's a bit like that. So
Oh, what's the game?
it's called Blazing Dragons. It's by the guys that a number of the Monty Python people, like Eric Idle, Michael Palin, and Terry Jones, I think. So,
Oh, cool.
but it's in that style of like Monkey Island, and it's a point and click game. But
Nice.
the graphics in it are really bad, and I mean, it was originally on. I originally played it on the Sega Saturn, and then I found out it was on the PS1, and I'm using that version to
Oh, nice.
do the review. but graphically it's really bad, and it is that kind of blocky, kind of really bad animation. You know, like it's not properly animated. It's just like the same old five
Yeah.
cells kind of thing, and it's like, wow, this is really lame, you know, kind of thing. But it still works. It's one of those annoying kind of games that nothing about it should work, and yet it still does, you know, kind of thing. So
I'm looking forward to seeing it. When do you think it'll be done?
it'll be a while because I've got the footage recorded, but as you know, editing takes so long and going through everything to find the bits. And because I've been ill and that, and I've been working on, like I say, the other day I was putting in, I got my script ready to do the next part of my X-Files game review. But at the moment, I'm so annoyed because I was reading it through to check the time length. I haven't got enough voice at the moment to get through the angry bits and that. And I was trying to put emotion into saying stuff, and I was like, you know, and choking over the bits. And I was like, I can't get angry enough at certain bits. So
No,
I'm still waiting for my voice to come back properly.
and you're like, if you did it now, they'd go, you need to stop smoking.
Yeah, exactly. It would be like, why is it? But yeah, no, so I'm not able to do those bits at the moment, but it was so funny because I was working through it and I was like, I can't record still. So until I get my voice back, like without any problems, I can't work on that. So I can't work on really anything else until I get that out of the way. So it's going to be one of those, like with your stuff, it's projects in motion, isn't it? It's
it, is. It really is. I'll be right back. I need to go to the toilet quickly.
Oh, okay. He's abandoning me. I'm so boring. There he goes. Anybody got any questions while I've been left here all on my own? Like I say, thank you to John and Alex for their kind messages while I've been sick. It's you know what the funniest thing is I went to the doctors, and this is really boring, but because I've been ill since we got back from Chevron 8.2, and anybody who knows that the hotel was not very nice, and I went to the doctors, and the doctor explained where I'd been and that, and she was like, "Oh, the air quality in London is very bad at the moment." I was like, "No shit, Sherlock. Thank you for. I never would have guessed." So yeah, you know, the whole stuff at the moment, because of course we just recently had an awful vote. Well, the state of the NHS probably going out. That's you know, that's the kind of information, that's the kind of advice you want to you know, pay for. But for anybody who's waiting for videos from me, I do have a video coming out as soon as I have my voice back properly, showing off my new Exiles Funkos. This is the only one I'm going to show you for now. But yeah, I had up. So so there is that coming. And I just dropped an alien on the floor. Never thought I'd get to say that. But I'm playing Uncharted at the moment. It's nice to go back to it. It's an old, not an old. I've played it and 2 and 3, and I'm really looking forward to number 4. But it's nice to go back because I've said it before. I mean, we've talked about games where the graphics really don't hold up anymore. But it's interesting to go back to Uncharted, and I think the graphics still really will hold up, even though it's an old PS3 game. You know, one of the first titles out on the console. So yay to Naughty Dog for making a game that lasts. But I do love the if anybody saw my arcade block unboxing, and I got the video games live CD. Oh my god, I love the Uncharted theme so much. It's pretty much used in all of them. But playing Uncharted and then that theme comes on, considering how much I've been listening to it on this CD, I just sit there and just like, yeah, love this theme. But you have no questions? Is it? John says, it looks like from your last video that you really disliked your last arcade block. It had some good stuff. Like I say, love the CD. The t-shirt was and I've now got the salt and pepper pots up there. I just really wasn't impressed. It was really disappointing. It's starting to go downhill, and I feel like they're really struggling to get new things to put in there. Yeah, except for the music CD. Yeah, I just feel like they're really struggling to put stuff in at the moment, and I hate it when it's got Metal Gear Solid in next month's one. But I hate it when they. Hello. I was just talking about the arcade block. I said because I've been playing Uncharted, and I said, you know, because the Uncharted 2 one is on this CD that came in the arcade block. I love listening to this, but I've been, you know, while you're playing Uncharted, and then that main theme plays, and it's so rocking, and I'm just like, I love this theme so much. So I'm sat there like.
Is there any way you could copy that and send me a zip of it so I could listen to it?
Yeah, if you want it.
Just because I want to know how good
advertise that on. Yeah, I think it's really good. But yeah, I'd love to. Hang on one sec. I did drop an alien while I was chatting.
Okay.
So you don't often get to say that. I dropped an alien.
Dropped an alien.
But yeah, no, I was saying about the block that I really enjoyed the CD, but the rest of the block was a bit. Look, it's a Mulder. Hello, Mulder. Come say hello to everybody.
Well, I've got to be honest with you. I'm thinking the arcade block's getting worse.
It's really going downhill, and I really feel like they're struggling to come up with stuff. This dog doesn't love me.
Okay. I watched your video actually from 2010. You know when he was turning 1.
Oh yeah. Because I reshared it on Facebook. I was like, I love watching that back. I keep meaning to do a new one, you know, like with up-to-date videos and photos, but I just haven't gotten around to doing it yet. So
it was so funny the bit when you were outside going like this. And he did it.
Well, I went with the broom. Yeah, he loves brooms. But we are talking about the dog that loves being shot with a Nerf gun. So whatever. But yeah, no, the arcade block has gone really downhill. So they've got a Metal Gear Solid item in the next month's one. So I'm curious to see. And guess what? There's another Zelda item.
I've got a feeling the Metal Gear Solid item's going to be a shirt.
What do you want about it's a t-shirt? I am fed up with them keep making out like it's going to be official merchandise, and then it turns out to be their stupid t-shirts.
I tell you something, I might actually buy that one because I would love
just to get the I was so happy to hear there's finally going to be something other than the other stuff they keep putting out.
Zelda.
And then they sent an email to go, there's going to be a Zelda item in the next block. I was like, fuck off.
Why did they even tell me? It should be arcade blocks with Zelda item every time.
Yeah, it's like you just expect it now. It's like.
Did you?
John this was the tackiest little thing ever in the block. I mean, it's bloody little chest keychain. It's like, whatever. Yeah, it looks like an earring. It looks like a bloody earring. It's like.
Well, John said, did you put the Zelda keychain on your case?
I haven't yet.
Are you gonna?
Oh, what? This little thing?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's so crap. I don't even, it doesn't even look. I mean, you can't really, I mean, if you look at that little clasp, it doesn't even look like it's going to hold on for long. It looks like it'll easily break.
It looks like if you throw your keys on the side and stuff, it'll break.
Yeah, exactly. So I sat in the side in the box. But yeah, no, I'll send you that CD because you know what? Like I say, I looked up the other ones and I was so pissed off with how expensive they were. Are
they expensive then?
The first one is £25.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, I'm not buying that. So to get this free, and like I say, it's got a really good song list. It's got a song from Resident Evil 5. It's got Donkey Kong Country, League of Legends, Final Fantasy 10, Cave Story, World of Warcraft, Metal Gear Solid, Snake Eater.
Oh, is it Snake Eater?
Yeah, it's Snake Eater.
Oh, I love that.
Which I love listening to. Uncharted 2 theme, Zelda's Lullaby, Winds of Madness from Resident Evil 5, the Assassin's Creed Black Flag theme, Bioshock and the Earthworm Jim theme.
Is it the full one, or is it just like a
Oh, it's a full
promotional one?
CD. It's a full CD with full like 4-minute length tracks.
What's it called?
And Video Games Live Level 4. But I can send it to you.
Oh.
And it's the arcade block edition, so it's got 2 extra tracks on it, including Castlevania Rock and Chrono Cross theme. But it's really good. I mean, it's only a plastic case, but
What the hell? There's a Blu-ray of Level 2.
it's probably because that's the problem. Like I say, from what I was looking up, a lot of the previous editions. I mean, this is except for like the last 2 songs. This is all studio recordings. But from what I've seen about the previous CDs, they're all like mainly live recordings. And a couple of the song clips I listened to, they're really bad, like all applauding and stuff, and it's really bad quality. So I'm really glad the fact that this is free. And like I say, I love it to bits. I've listened to this so many times. I've listened to this while playing games. It really gets you like, because a lot of the music is good driven music, you know, kind of thing. So no, I've really enjoyed it. So
Snake Eater, yeah.
Exactly. And like I say, the fact then that the song after the Snake Eater is the Uncharted theme is just like, yeah.
It's
The
like
most disappointing thing in that whole block was the stupid gaming magazine. I
Was
was
it
just
bad?
like, what? I looked through it and it's just really boring. I mean, like I say, so much of gaming news and that you can look up on the internet now. It's you can look up videos and that. It's like, who's going to sit there and look through adverts?
That's the problem. Back when I was a kid,
We
you
didn't have
found
the internet,
I found out stuff like Metal Gear Solid 2 was coming up on the PS2 where it come out, right?
Yeah.
And I was waiting to find out all information. I'd read up on it and everything. Now I get a notification telling me, or I can look up Metal Gear Solid 2 and find out everything.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, now, like you say, I mean, we can do that. You know, we have YouTube videos and those kind of stuff. And also, my main issue, and I said this on my showing off the box video, was most of the gaming magazines now, they have demo discs with them.
Yeah.
And this didn't have anything like that. So there's nothing even really to show off the games that it's
Well,
I
remember when Grand Theft Auto 3 came out, PlayStation Magazine had the free demo discs.
Yeah.
And I remember it was something that was really, really cool. But now you don't get that because you can download some of them on your thing, but you don't get demos like you used to at all.
I used to be by PC Gamer and a lot of the PC gaming magazines, because they had these amazing like 2 discs where you would get like demos, but also like full programs of stuff. And I mean, some of my favorite programs I've used are from CD, like from gaming magazines. I have this awesome. I still have it to this day. It should be easy to get to. Or not. Oh, it's not going to be easy to get to. Anyway, I got this awesome game. It's more like a I was hoping it was to be to hand, but it's not. So that sucks. It's called Weird, and see, look, I even still got some of the PC format.
Oh, nice.
It's called Weird, and basically, it's like this database of like paranormal like phenomenon.
Yeah.
And you go through, and there's some mini games in it as well, but it's more like learning, like fun facts and stuff like that. And it's really interesting to go through, and I do like the puzzles in it. But that was a full program, and that was in a magazine. So you know, I miss that kind of stuff. But to get just a magazine that, as you saw, was quite thick in the box and takes up a lot of weight, I was like, that was a waste of. Oh my God, sorry. It's because one of the wheels is missing on my chair, so it rocks. Sorry.
It's like apparently, I mean, the arcade block and our block were meant not the arcade block, sorry, the nerd block and hover block were both meant to start getting books in them, proper books.
Yeah, I heard that. I don't get the nerd block anymore, so I don't know about that. But
Oh, John says the video games love you have was all paid for by a Kickstarter campaign. Gamers
really,
must love their gaming music. Hmm.
gaming music is amazing, and I've said it before. I mean, we've talked about it before. But it's that kind of thing that can make a game so much more. And but you don't always. I mean, I said, I love The Last of Us music.
Yeah.
But sometimes you get so engrossed in the game or that you tune out, you forget that the music's even there. Sometimes you register it and then you'll just be like,
You do.
that's really nice music, or something like that.
Spec Ops is really funny because when you turn the music off on it, they go, "Can you hear that?" And there's nothing there. And he goes, "Yeah, but keep moving." And they're like, and it's really funny because I said it a couple of times and there's no music whatsoever.
I love the music in Spec Ops. That's really good music. And because I take it you had to turn it off to record footage.
Yeah, I do. Because some games don't let you. Games like Battlefield don't let you turn the music off from the game.
Not?
No.
You can't even adjust like the volume for it or something.
So now I have to figure out the audio points to take out.
Oh, it was another one. Music quiz. That was in a and it's got a good quiz. That's a full program. And that came in a magazine. Sorry, I was trying to find that weird while we were talking, but I couldn't find it. So.
I like when they're in proper sleeves, like they have a picture. I don't like when they're just in a sleeve with the plastic circle.
Oh, yeah. Well, most of these were in actual CD cases, but I've taken them out and put them in my filing system so that they're easier. Like to store away, because I've got one of those CD boxes. The piece that you used to be able to get for your computer desks and stuff.
Yeah.
No, I can't find it. I give up. What do you want to bet? It'd be like the last disc I find.
It probably will, man.
It'll be right there.
I know what it's like. Remember what happened to me the other day, Resident Evil 6?
Oh, there you go. There. Weird. There's a whole database of... Is there anybody out there discovered the truth behind the real X-Files with the complete guide to it's £30?
What's that?
No. What's that?
You broke up for a minute. You're going.
Oh, sorry. No, I said the price, £30.
Bloody hell!
Oh,
yeah, £30.
It's amazing what you used to get in magazines.
Well, I think the thing is, it's shocking when you think how expensive and how much we used to pay for games.
Oh God, yeah.
I
mean, we do it now, but
I remember getting
like DOS programs and that. When you think we used to pay £30 for that, or whatever.
I begrudge paying $400 for a program which is only like 300 gigabits.
Oh, it's like I upgrade my video editing software every now and then to the newer version, but I only pay like £50 for my software. Yeah. Whereas my software does everything I need it to, and I love it to bits. I swear by it. But other people will be like, no, you have to have Adobe Premiere and stuff like that. And it's like, I've used Premiere, and it's awful because it's mainly menu based, and I like being able to look at what I'm properly editing and stuff like that. A friend got me Sony Vegas Movie Studio, which is like the cheaper version of Sony Vegas. And I don't even like that, to be honest. But those kind of programs are like £400 to buy the proper. And it's like, why would I pay that when I can pay £50 and get, what I feel is better than that stuff, What's that?
This is my recent review movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm hoping to start, if John is still wondering, I was hoping to start, but obviously because of my sickness, I haven't been able to get back to my movie nights. I'm hoping to start next week, fingers crossed, but no guarantees. Once he goes up, that'll be the start. But obviously, while my voice is still bad, and
Well, and the first movie isn't going to be Centurion. It's going to be like the 20,000th movie when it's put up. So,
yeah, it's going to be at the end of the yeah.
The truth is, Tash was Centurion, and because it was so bad, it's now Coaster. And now she wiped her bum with the cover.
I will say, I watched a bit of it, and I was just like, "That's so funny."
When I was doing my movie reviews, I was tempted at the end of one to show me actually taking a poo on one.
Oh, you want to do like I did with NCIS? We didn't get to properly talk about this because you finally played NCIS. You poor lonely person.
I did. I played NCIS, and I played it all in one day, in one sitting.
Yeah. And you agree with everything I said on my review, didn't you? You were just like, yeah, that's totally.
I do. The way Abby walks now, it's just so, everything's so stiff. It's like, it reminds me of like the 2004 PC games.
Yeah, the graphics are so bad. It's like a mobile. It's like something you play on a tablet more.
It is. And it was just horrendously bad. And I gotta be honest, I didn't like the scenes. I didn't like the thing. I thought it was so tacky and boring.
You liked the deduction board, didn't you? I bet that was your favourite thing in the whole game.
I wish it was, because there used to be things that would make sense, and they'd say, that's wrong. And I'd be like, but that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
And Denozo I liked in the game because it was just so over the top.
Ziva was annoying. That was just awful.
I am Ziva. I do not understand what you're talking about.
Yeah. I think that was the most racist thing ever. It was just awful. It was just.
Oh, and Gibbs, what do you mean by this? Did you hear Gibbs? It could be dead.
Oh, really?
Apparently, at the end of season 12, Gibbs could be dead.
You know what? They've been doing a number of things recently where he's been longingly looking at the group from a distance and that, and I'm like, is he leaving or what? So. Because season 12 is airing here in the UK at the moment. So
well, I don't know what happens, so I'm not gonna spoil that.
Yeah.
But
I wish it would end. To be honest, it's getting ridiculous, that show now.
I hope I hope it could be that he's gonna die, and they're gonna get a new commander. You know, like
I don't think they should. I think it should end with the death of Gibbs.
But then you could have said that about bloody CSI with Grissom.
Well, did you hear they finally cancelled CSI? It has finally been cancelled.
Yeah, thank God.
Which is about bloody time. Yeah.
Yeah,
but it was never the same after Grissom left anyway.
No, it wasn't.
Bloody Morpheus was crap. And then they had Ted Danson, who was a little better, but, you know.
Well, the problem is, with NCIS, I feel like now they've got the other two, they could end it easily.
Yeah.
You know?
I just thought it was getting tired and, you know.
The problem is, if Gibbs isn't in it anymore, it's going to kill the show a lot.
Yeah.
You know, because the whole point of the show was for everybody in there, great chemistry. When they changed the Bishop, that wrecked it as well a lot, because Bishop is like this overgrown cheerleader schoolgirl kind of personality. You know,
I find Bishop really boring. She's very bland.
And I like Gibbs because Gibbs is that guy that's on the team who everybody knows can do things, and everybody knows could kill somebody pretty quickly if he wanted to, and he's got that slight edge to him that you don't see with many characters. Where it's believable. You know what I mean? Where he doesn't have to hurt people. He can be nice all the time, but you know, because of his history, you know he could.
Yeah. I don't like as well. They just an episode that he aired here in the UK from the recent season was they were making McGee feel inconsequential again. He was feeling very kind of unwanted in that. And I was like, I'm sorry, we're on season 12. They should have moved to a point where McGee is a lot more respected in that team than he is. And I was like, I can't believe they're still pulling that thing, because it was like, oh, Tony's Reading but McGee's not, and it's like, well, why? Because McGee's their bloody and I was like, why are they trying to do this again? So I love NCIS, but as we've said with other shows, I think you have to have that time where you just go, okay, they've done all they can do by now.
Well, I have the whole series on DVD,
Yeah.
except for obviously the new one.
Yeah, you just haven't
And
watched it as
I just haven't watched it yet. Oh, got a comment. Loving the X-Files Funko Pops, Tash. Where did you get them? From James.
They were pre-ordered. I got them from Forbidden Planet because I had them pre-ordered. So, but you will be able to properly see them when I upload my video because I have got opening them.
And James,
yeah.
you'll be able to probably buy them off of Amazon if you plan on buying them.
Oh yeah, you can buy them on Amazon and Forbidden Planet anywhere at the moment. There's only 4 of them. I wish I had a Skinner one, but there's only 4 of them.
Yeah, why didn't they bring out a Skinner one? I'd rather they got the Skinner one than the bloody Alien.
You know what? Well, yeah, is that I don't get. I mean, even the Lone Gunman would have been perfect, but you know what? I got this new T-shirt. It's excellent. Look, all right.
Oh,
so,
nice.
I can't see.
Let me click on you. There you go.
So you got like, I love your Scully looking absolutely unimpressed with being abducted. Mulder's all excited. Skinner's trying to run away in that. At least you've got all the characters in there. That's who they should have had in the Funkos, you know.
And the Smoking Man.
Yeah, the Smoky Man at the top. Just so.
Smoking Man's the best character in the series.
Yeah. I love the fact that he has such a tiny cigarette on the, you know, I guess they couldn't advertise it, you know, like as
that is tiny, isn't it?
Tiny the cigarette is on that.
You can barely even see it.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost the same color as his hand. But I love the I love how detailed, I mean, you saw on the pictures, I love how detailed the badges are on the
nice. Yeah, they're very detailed.
And to have a little picture as well on them and that's really
John commented they are going to finish off CSI with a 2-hour movie event before the end of the year. The Grissom and Catherine characters are returning for the finale. See, I don't understand this with shows. They bring them back and you're like, in reality, why would they bring them back when they're not there anymore?
Yeah. I'm still annoyed about, to be honest, Sarah being back. I've never liked her coming back. So
did the Afro guy? Is the Afro guy still in it?
No, he died.
Oh. What about the other guy? What about the guy with the black hair who was in it?
Nick?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still in it. But they had some problems because the actor who played him, George Eads, he, I don't know, had some falling out with I think he had a drunk rampage or something like that. And he got in trouble with the bosses at the thing. So he had a suspension from the show for a little while and then he came back. So, I could be wrong on what happened, but I know there was a falling out and then he came back. So.
He's lucky it was just a suspension.
Yeah, exactly. So, but he's a big part of the show, as with you know. But it's interesting to see what's. But you know, I said this. There was a new there was a crossover episode of Criminal Minds with this other team that had Gary Sinise in it and that.
Oh, that's the new. That's the new Criminal Minds series coming on.
Yeah, and I thought it was so boring. And I hate some of those crossovers when they're trying to show off a new series because I find them so boring. I didn't like the NCIS and NCIS LA crossover.
Well, I mean, I don't see why they have to have them. I mean, if a show's good enough on its own, it'll be good enough. It's like we'll give it that extra push by putting it on here.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that ruins some of the. What's this? I'll probably get the X-Files and Buffy Funkos soon and from Amazon UK.
Oh, what, I have Buffy Funkos.
What, all of them? Because there's a lot of Buffy ones, isn't there?
There's a lot of Buffy ones. I want to know if he's going to buy the £40 Vampire Spike one.
I can answer that. I can answer that right now.
Yeah.
I
have Buffy ones. I have my Gentleman and Spike and hang on, if I'm looking right. I have more, but I'll be sure. I
actually think that Gentleman one's actually quite different to the others.
It's quite creepy. Look at that. It's fucking.
The Spike one's pretty good.
Yeah, it's quite. I like the Spike one.
The Dell one looks like it's got real bloody bags under his eyes.
He's got like silver teeth in that as well. So. But the Buffy one, the Willow one, is really boring. You can get Wish First Willow, which is when she's the vampire Willow.
Yeah.
But I wish they did a Dark Willow one. That would be really good. You know, when she's all veiny and witchy.
It's funny you say that because I was talking to Donna while I sorting out my DVDs the other day. My
Yeah.
sex, and I was going, she went, "Oh, what's that this one? Well, this one where Willow turns into a witch." I said, "I found this season to be the most boring." Right?
Oh, yeah.
And she went, "Why?" And I went, "Well, she skins one of the guys. She goes and skins him." She said,
Yeah.
"But is that something you normally like?" I went, "I don't know. I just didn't like Evil Willow, you know."
I got where it came from because of Tara dying and that, but yeah, it got a bit silly.
You know, and the three main villains in it being those three kids.
Oh my god, yeah, fucking Andrew, Warren, and Jonathan.
It was just like, and then one of them becoming a ally to Angel.
Yes.
It was like, you know, it was just like whatever. I have to admit, I didn't think Series 7 was that great, but I did like Nathan Fillion in it.
Yes. Oh, as Caleb, he was absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, talk about creepy.
Yeah.
But see, NCIS was a crossover with JAG, so sometimes the crossovers do work. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, no, NCIS had an episode. I've got that on digital. I've got that as a file. But yeah, no, NCIS was. I liked JAG, and the thing is when they did the NCIS one, it wasn't that much of a departure from the JAG. I hate it when it takes a big jump. I mean, NCIS, when they had their little induction, it wasn't like the whole episode. They were there, but it didn't take over the whole rest of the episode. Whereas, say, like the Criminal Minds one that I just recently watched, the other team, and what bugged me as well is it had bloody Anna Gunn out of Breaking Bad, who was awful Skylar in Breaking Bad. You know, they were in the episode the whole time. They were a big part of that episode. And I was like, in the same way that NCIS, the LA one, it was all about the technology and the computers and everything. And it was like, I agree. Sometimes it does work. I'm not saying, I'm just saying I don't like this fad now of having the spin-offs where it becomes a big deal of like, you know.
See, I don't feel like they even need to have it.
No.
I feel like it's there because it's like, oh, we'll advertise it because we don't think it's going to work on its own.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and I think that kind of holds back the show to a degree.
Yeah,
you know?
No, exactly.
I mean, with Law and Order, Special Victims Unit, they did it with Chicago Fire and Chicago PD.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, too many people.
Well, in a way, I mean, the thing is with Chicago PD is you already had Voight in Chicago Fire. So I felt like that character had a springboard to go on to but what I completely agree with what you're saying though, but then you get stuff like the bloody like all the CSIs when they do their crossovers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't watch CSI New York. I don't like CSI Miami. Why do I then want to watch, you know, Crusoe and all that, then turn up and I'm like, I don't know who these people are. I have no interest in seeing them do an investigation. It's like, if I want to watch it, I'll go watch CSI New York, you know, kind of thing.
The only thing I care about the other two when I watched CSI was the theme tunes.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
yeah, you
all
can't go wrong with a bit of Who music, you know, kind of.
Yeah, that's all I cared about because I was like, because to me, they're all the same show.
Yeah.
You know, just in a different area. Like, they can have the exact same bloody storylines, just change the people around in the area, and oh, look, it's different.
Well, this is what I'm finding, like, with NCIS now. I'm like, how many more investigations can they do? They're getting so samey and boring. It's like, you know.
Just so people know, we've got 15 minutes left.
Yeah.
So if you've got any questions, please ask them. And, yeah. Thanks. We've had so many comments. That's nice.
I know, it's nice. We've had some really good questions, and John's asked quite a good variation of stuff.
I think he missed you so much. He was like, I need to ask these questions.
Yeah. I need to get these out there quickly before she disappears.
There you go. You know, I mean,
that's what happens. You fall sick for 3 weeks, and all of a sudden it's like, where did you go?
It's like everybody was just like Mulder when you got back from Chevrolet.
Did you see that video on the last part? And he was just, it was like he was broken. It was just like whining like crazy.
Oh, that was so amazing though, because it really showed the love, you know.
Yeah. It was when
And
he
the way,
got up on the actual sofa, on the armchair that I was sat on. And he was just like, and I'm like, yeah, I feel so loved being smothered. And I showed Jane and she was pissing herself because it was just like, yeah, that's love for you.
all righty, Tash and Malcolm, I'm going to have to take my leave now. Really enjoyed this chat, and welcome back, Tash. Miss seeing you in the chat. See you soon, Malcolm, mate. See you later, James.
See you later. Have a good week.
But yeah, I mean, when you see the beginning, when you see it, and you see that part, and
Yeah.
you go, "Oh, oh, oh," and all this, it's so good because it's like he's trying to say, "I missed you, I missed you, I missed you," you know. And
Yeah. It
when
was
he
like he was
jumps on it,
whining so much. I was like, I got to put the camera on. I was like, I got to film this quickly while he's still, you know.
when he jumps on you, you're like, "Oh," you know what I mean? But it's so funny
Yeah.
because it's like I've been pinned down now.
It's just like, this is my way of showing. It was the fact that, because he was stood on like one arm and then his other legs were on the other arm of the chair. And he's just like leaning against me. And I'm just like, where do I go? And I'm like holding the camera out like this. And I'm like,
So yeah, just tired. Okay,
but I was joking about, I was saying when you went to the toilet about what the doctor had said about how, you know, there was bad air quality in London at the time I was away. I was like, no shit, I kind of figured that out.
Hasn't there been bad air in
Yeah,
London
isn't that London full stop?
since bloody the Black Death?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, what? I mean, cars bloody calls it after time as well. I mean, what the hell?
Well, I joked, you know, with the, you know, the new government we've got in and everything, they want to get rid of the NHS. And, you know, it's nice to know that someday there could be a time where I have to actually pay for information like that. There's bad air in London. No, you know, I never would have guessed that.
You know what?
Breathing it in.
The only thing I'm going to say about the politics thing in the chat is I think sending NHS is a really, really bad idea.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I can see where it could be a positive when it comes to immigration and stuff.
Yeah.
Because people won't want them because they won't have that.
People take advantage. Yeah, exactly.
But I think it's a bad idea because America doesn't do too bad. But could you imagine being poor, right? Having to pay for your medical expenses and insurance all the time, as well as paying your main bills. In order for me to live where I am, every month I have to have between $3,000 and $4,000 earned in my bank a month.
Yeah.
All right, that is bonkers.
That is insane. Yeah.
You know, when you think the average home is about 1,600 without the in England.
Yeah.
Without the well, actually, so I'm wrong on that. About 1,000 or less.
Yeah.
Before the meal and everything. Because rent on average is about 100 odd quid if you're in, you know, a council estate.
100, yeah.
You know, about 100 and so, and then you've got your food.
Yeah, bills
and that. So it's less than about 1,000. So it's less than about 1,000 every month. Over it's like 3 to 4 grand. And then on top of that, you have to pay land fees. If you own a house, that's 2.5 grand every 6 months.
Yeah.
So it's crazy money. You know, it's like,
well, when you know somebody like me that's on benefit is already struggling to get, you know, live day to day. It's like, well, where am I going to get this money to pay for my meds and, you know, stuff like that? Because I have to have meds every day, you know, kind of thing.
I mean, medications could be like what, £8.20 per thing? Yeah. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But there's a civil war happening, isn't there?
Well,
you know, this is what the Avengers is about. It's going to be about London.
Yeah, that's what exactly. Yeah. What's this, John? I have the same problem with my big dog Ramstein. He is 85 pounds of big baby, and he loves to try to join me on my computer chair. What type of dog is he, John?
We might get to see him.
Yeah. On his chat.
Yeah.
Have to let us know when that is, John.
Yeah, you'll have to let us know, and then we'll be able to do it with you.
Also, I want to say regarding Facebook is I am so rarely on. Malcolm knows I'm rarely on Facebook these days because it's such a shit pile, isn't it? Facebook, it's becoming ridiculous.
Well, no, let's be honest. When you are on Facebook, it's normally for a minute or two because you're not somebody who likes to be messaging and stuff anyway. You know.
No, well, because I struggle to type for long and stuff. It's yeah.
You know. So even if you do see Tash on, you shouldn't get upset or anything if she doesn't respond because
please don't take it personally. It's just I rarely use it, especially while I'm sick. I'm like, I mean, poor Malcolm, he's a good friend, and yet I never reply to him. So, but thank you for the messages anyway. I really appreciate them. This is the funniest thing. It's like we were saying about people who have all these like stuff like Tumblr, Instagram, Twitter, this, that. It cracks me up when I get this thing come through going, so-and-so is now following you on Twitter, and I haven't posted for like a year. And it's like, why are you following me on Twitter?
Yeah, it's like, if I haven't put anything, why would you follow me?
Yeah, I know, exactly.
An American Bulldog Labrador.
Oh, wow. That's quite a mixture.
I've always wanted a Bulldog Poodle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because I thought it'd be cool to have a
Bull
bulldog
poo.
hair. You know? Dog poo.
Bull poo, yeah.
Bull poo.
I like those Labradoodle things. They're quite, yeah.
I like pugs.
Oh, yeah. Donna really wants a pug. She
I think
keeps pestering her husband that she wants one. So
I think they're so cute.
Yeah.
With that face.
Yeah, that smushed in face.
Yeah, it's so cute.
That's the funny thing when PewDiePie shows his ones. It's just like, oh, they're adorable. I don't really like pugs, but at the same time, you see them and you're like, oh, they're so adorable.
I don't think me and Donna would ever get a dog because there's a dog next door.
Ah, so you'd have like, yeah.
And to be honest with you, I think we'd end up with tons and tons of barking.
You got the cat as well, so.
Well, I think the cat's going to be on its last legs in the next few years because it is old, you know, it's like 16,
really? Yeah.
So it's not going to be around forever, but it's nice having him while he's here, you know.
I'm wondering when my rats are going to go at this point because, you know, they've still got, his tumour has gotten so big now, it takes up like his whole stomach area.
Bloody hell.
And Dan keeps sneezing up blood.
Have you took pictures of the tumour?
No, I haven't taken pictures of it, but the vets won't do anything because he's still happy enough.
Yeah.
And they say it's, you know, too expensive to put him down. So.
My best friend has 3 pugs and 3 basset hounds.
Oh, basset hounds are adorable.
Malcolm,
that whole depressed look always makes me laugh.
Malcolm, did you see the last picture I sent you on Facebook last night? Let me have a look, just in case I did miss something. Have a quick look. I'm guessing it was in the message.
So are you playing anything at the moment? You're doing your footage, aren't you? So I take it you're playing more hardline and stuff, or?
I finished hardline, and John, I did see it. Yes, it was pretty funny and cool. Hold on, let me get back to you. Yeah, I've done Battlefield, so tomorrow, because I'm going to do The Witcher.
Yeah.
I don't want to have anything else in kind of like production doing because I'm like, I don't want to be half and half.
Right, yeah.
So, because I'm going out tomorrow at 9:30 in the morning to get The Witcher.
Oh, yeah. You buying any plans to buy anything else? Or?
Well, if you buy it from Target, you get a free strategy guide with it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm thinking, I'll go there and get that. I don't need the strategy guide, but it's always good to get something like that for free.
It's nice to get extra, freebies.
So I was like, I'll get that one, and then I'm going to buy the season pass as well.
Yeah.
Because you get 13 free expansion packs, which is just clothes and everything.
Right, yeah.
And I'm guessing a few missions. And then later on in the year, like later this year, you get a 5-hour DLC.
Yeah.
And then early next year, you get a 9-hour DLC, which is basically another game.
Mm.
So I'm like, I'll get the DLC, get the game, get the strategy guide free with the game. Why not, you know?
Oh, nice. I want to get Witcher when it goes down in price because it looks apparently it's like 35 times bigger, like map wise, than than the previous games. So.
Well, I was quite clever because I was like, we want to get this game and I want to do some video plays of it. And I was like, but I don't want to pay the full price. So what I'll do is I'll show Donna it and say, look, it's like Star Wars.
Make Donna it her idea. Yeah,
Donna watched it and she went, wow. And then she went, oh, we'll pay half each, right?
Yeah.
And I went, I don't know. It's like a game you'd want more than me. And then it ended up, oh, you can pay. Yeah. And I said, you know what? I'll do a video of it before it gets to be straight away, and then we'll play after.
Yeah.
It was like, okay. And I went, I won't like it that much, but people online will, right? So instead of paying half, I'm paying.
Your wife, seriously, just.
So I'm paying 10% of it instead. So instead of paying 80 and then paying 40, now I'm paying about £7.
This is what I'm missing out on. Buy me games. It's just like, you know, I can come on to buy me stuff. It was like,
but that's what you think. But what if they were the one who did it together?
Well, yeah, exactly. It'd be like, they'd be buying all the games, and they'd be like, "No, you're not allowed to play it. You're not allowed to play it. No, I got to play it first."
You know, it's funny how they do that, but it would be good. It's good to have somebody to play games with, as we know. You know.
Yeah.
But I always said unless
you're playing as Ada Wong, and then your imaginary character is not able to do anything.
The imaginary friend that stands there and beats people
can't even open doors. That's how bad that game was on that character. How badly ported for 2-player it was.
It's very Fight Club like. You know, with the whole.
With the imagination. Yeah. That you're not real.
I've got to check the YouTube page again just in case.
Yeah, I'm playing Uncharted at the moment. It's nice to. I was saying it's amazing how that game graphically still holds up to this day.
It is.
For one of the first games out on the console, it's like, actually, this is ridiculous. It still looks amazing, especially even compared to some games, like we say about Unity and that, compared to some games on the PS4.
Well, see, that's the thing. I mean, it looks incredible. I was playing it again, but I'm going to play it because I'm going to do a recording of it at some point.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll just wait until then, you know. Yeah. But until then, I'm like, because I really enjoyed it. To me, the thing that makes Uncharted so good is the graphics and the relationship between Sully and Drake.
Yeah.
They're the two things that make the thing. If Sully wasn't in one of the games, I think I'd go mental.
Yeah, because you said they've said that he might die in the fourth one, didn't you, or something?
Yeah, they said he might die in it to make, you know, like room for a new character.
Yeah. I think that would be wrong because he's such a father figure to.
The thing is, I'd rather Elena die.
Yes. It would be nice if Elena sods off.
I would rather.
And he married her and everything now, so you know.
I know, but I mean, I'd rather she die because he can move on.
Yeah, like you say, make room for another character. Yeah.
With Sully, I don't think we could.
My problem is as well is Sully has died so many times in the franchise that by now it's like Kenny dying in South Park. It's just like, yeah, whatever. We know he hasn't really died.
Well, the thing is, if he did die in it, I'm sure like after a game or two, they'd make him come back or something.
Yeah, exactly.
You know. But yeah, I've left that because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do all my PS4 games, so I'm replaying them again.
Yeah.
I'll be playing them for the first time. I'm trying to figure out how to do cam while I'm doing it.
Right.
But in order to do the cam while I'm playing and the voice, I need to have the thing on mute on the TV and have an earphone in my ear to hear it. So it makes it a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about maybe getting a good headset thing.
Well, that's the thing. It's like when we play, you know, I have the sound going through the heads. Well, I can't on the PS3. It's different, but yeah, it's needing a good headset.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about doing that and that because I'm enjoying doing the gameplays and that, and I'm sure they'll be popular the more I do.
Yeah.
So I've got to get the commentary thing down more. I've got to practice more while doing it. You know. It's such an easy thing, but at the same time, I think when you're not used to doing it,
yeah,
you know,
especially if you're as we were saying, if you're concentrating on the game and stuff, you're not always thinking about coming up with witty stuff to say. And then there's other times where you say something off the cuff, and it's like, I wish I thought of that or something.
Like,
You know, like,
like what I said to you in Resident Evil 6, the clear water. I told you, Elaine, I'd make you wet. So,
yeah.
right, that was excellent. That was great
But,
timing and everything.
yeah,
But
and
it
you like,
wasn't.
it's like,
You know what I mean? You weren't tears of laughter. You know,
yeah.
what's this? John says, "You devious bastard, Malcolm."
We've known that for ages.
Yes, very devious. But oh,
But no, I'm looking forward to doing the gameplay videos with you and stuff. But it's amazing because, like you say, I'm really enjoying going back playing because I'm playing a lot of the PS3 games at the moment.
yeah,
It's really fun. I'm really enjoying. I mean, I was looking through my collection the other day because I was like, I really want to do some gaming, but I don't know what to play. Because I'd started playing the Ghostbusters game and then I got stuck on a bit and I was like, oh, I'm
yeah,
really bored of this. So I was like, I really fancy playing something different. And I couldn't find the Uncharted disc at the time. So I was like, I don't know what to start next, you know, kind of thing. And I can't remember what I put in, but I didn't have the disk space on my
yeah.
PS3 to load up another game, kind of thing. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll leave it. So then I was looking at the PS4 games, and you know, I've got I've got a number of games I've started, but I've not finished. Evil Within, Metal Gear 5, the Ground Zeroes one, and Middle Earth: Shadow of Mordor. And I was looking at them and I was like, I don't really fancy playing them. I really fancy playing a PS3 game. And I'm like, that shouldn't be right when I've got a brand new spanking console kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
It's
but
a
no, I'm
really
looking forward to going to gameplay with you and that. So,
well. We'll figure that out at some point, you know,
yeah,
because we need to figure out how we're going to get the voices on there.
yeah, no, exactly. The joys
You
of
know.
editing and that.
Yes, might end up being you recording the voice thing while we're playing or something on your end, and then me
Yeah,
editing it in or something, which will probably be interesting, but it's something I'm just like,
so much
oh,
hassle.
you
Yeah,
know, at the minute. What I'm
yeah,
doing is I'm just trying to get the hang of the whole thing.
doing it kind of thing. Yeah.
You know, I mean, it takes an average of 2 to 3 hours to process a video that I can't edit before I process it, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, but it's that time again.
It is that time. I didn't think I'd
So,
last, but you know, I
you
managed
did.
it. So
Just shows you've got willpower and stamina. You kept it up. You kept the
yeah,
good fight up. So, before we go, I'd like to just say a couple of things. I'd like to thank you for being back.
no, missed it.
I'd like to say that, you know, we're all happy that you're back and that it's good to actually have my partner in crime back. Talk about missing a chat.
How to, yeah.
Talk
It's
about,
amazing how much it saps it out of you to not have that connection and stuff, you know.
it does. It's shocking. I tell you, it's shocking now. You don't realise how important something is and how amazing something is until it's not there, you know. It's
Or even the
amazing.
simple act of us gaming and stuff. I mean, the first time then I chatted to you, and you know, like when I was still really struggling and stuff, and it was like just to even, I mean, you were like, oh well, you know, it was just nice even to have that half hour or something.
Yeah, it
It
was.
made such a big difference. So
Well, it was, but yeah, it was. It's just one of those things where you're just like, wow, this person has a bigger effect on your life, and you don't realise it. You know,
yeah,
it's an incredible thing. Anyway, I guess we better say goodbye.
yeah.
So, do you want to go first?
Thank you so much to everybody. We've had a good number of questions and comments and stuff, and I am sorry, obviously I've not been available for the last couple of weeks due to sickness, but I want to say thank you to everybody that was supportive and did send me messages of well wishes and stuff, and especially those who said how much they missed the chat while we were away, because it's nice to feel that support and love, you know, like, you know, for something that sometimes it's easy for us to feel like we're not being as appreciated as, and I'm not speaking for Malcolm, but I'm just saying generally, it's easy to sometimes feel like we're not getting across in the way that we would like, kind of thing. But it's nice to know that there are people that miss us and stuff like that. So I really want to thank the people that showed support in this time while I've been ill and bedbound and stuff, and to those who have turned up today, even though we've been gone for a couple of weeks. It's nice to feel that support of people coming back to be there for for us when there wasn't really, you know. So thank you to everybody for their questions, and I'm looking back to being back next week, and fingers crossed, better would be nice. Get rid of this cough. She says, coughing. But no, that would be. And thank you so much to Malcolm for putting up with me and his support. I'd like to put that on cameras. He's been so supportive and that, and I can't thank him enough. So thank you.
You're welcome. That's what friends are for. Plus, you'd be there for me if I was really ill and that, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you. I was gonna talk for what John said, but say myself then. I just say this before we went. John said, "Thank you guys. I will let you know about our new chat very soon. I really, really missed this, and I am so excited that Tash was able to do it." So yeah, I'd like to say thanks to everybody for commenting, and I'm glad that John finally got his wish come true again, because John has been so. It's hard. It's been so hard for him because the chat was like so. You know, he enjoys it so much.
Yeah.
So I'd like to say thanks to you, John, for being here as well, because you're very supportive and you know you're good.
Yeah,
so I'd like to thank you for being here, and we're glad, and we're all glad that Tash is back. Obviously, like I said a minute ago. So I'd like to thank everybody for being here. I'd like to thank these two drinks to let me drink them during the chat. And I want to say everybody has a lovely week, and hopefully you will see us again next Monday, and hopefully Tash will be better, and if not, I will let you all know. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, in case that happens, I doubt it will, but you never know. You know?
No, exactly. Especially like, you know, it's like you get a cold on top of what you've already got or something. But
yeah.
The cross should all be fine.
But I'm sure Tash will be fine. So we'll be here next week, and we'll see you guys soon. So take care and have a lovely, lovely, lovely day.
Have a great week, everybody. See you later.
Bye, guys.